That's
We're
crazy.
live! Yeah, we
Dude,
did it. Mostly Kurt.
If you saw Plat Chat Valorant episode 109.5, you got blessed with a little Easter egg where we rambled about Steven Seagal's energy drink and lumbering physique in his action movies for 4 minutes before going offline and returning. And now we're here. It's Balla. It's Mimi. It's Avast. And it's me. And when we come together, we form the Plat Chat Valorant podcast. It's episode 110, motherfuckers. Let's just, I mean, let's just get into the stuff and we'll address whatever we talked about earlier at a later date. Well, this date, but at a later time in the episode. Same episode, but at a later time. Let's do this. It's the skin review, the Ion 2.0, featuring a new map tease? Yes! What? That's crazy. So also we discovered this really cool new feature in the Valorant update where when you open the game, it'll actually freeze the camera capture, which is what happened in episode 109.5, and that was the problem we solved, and Knurtis and Burtis troubleshooted. We're entering. Okay, I'm just gonna sit here like this. And
it takes a bit to load, so
it's
gonna
freeze
eventually.
Wyatt. It's only gonna freeze Wyatt. It's
gonna freeze me at some point.
Yeah.
Just shake your head back and forth, like really fast. And then eventually it's gonna freeze. Oh my god!
Holy shit! Emo just dropped.
What is that? Dude, this is crazy.
No way.
Holy shit, we just made a GIF. Dude, that's
Oh,
crazy. It looks like I'm about to fly away.
Breaking news. Wyatt can fly. Wyatt's able to fly now, guys. Breaking news.
I mean, yeah, actually just POV or attempting to leave the nest.
Is he still gonna be there? Will we?
I mean, there I am, just all right. We got the Ion skins. Yay, they're back.
Dude, Wyatt is vibrating with so much enthusiasm over these skins.
Yeah, just don't think too hard about why my right arm is fucking vibrating so fast. Just don't think about it. It's the Ion Frenzy. It's the new skin. It's $20. What else is there in this bundle? It's $17.75 for the Frenzy. I mean, that
I actually kind of like how it looks.
Cool, right?
It looks like Viper. If you're a Viper man, buy the skin in green.
It reminds me of like the plasma pistol from Halo.
Yeah, a little bit.
The green one did.
Oh, it's
really
red
played
and
Halo.
yellow. No man.
That's
How come
crazy.
the green one gets like full green? Yellow skin's
The
underrated.
red and yellow is an L combo.
Also, where's the pink?
This is
There's
kind
a
of mid
pink
as
one?
well. I honestly think only the green and the
There's not a
default are
pink.
worth it.
Yeah, I think green pops out of control.
I think if you
It's
want
like
a
the
great
Halo
value
thing.
skin,
Dude, I never really played Halo. Y'all
Not
were
even,
playing
like,
Halo. I was
casually?
busy playing Kirby Air Ride. We are not the same.
I played Kirby Air Ride too, so guess what? You're not that special, pal. You're not that special.
Whoa, it's
There it is, the
the bundle. I mean, that's $43.50. That's
Remember when there was like no karambits in the game? We were like, when the first one came out, we were like, oh, this is so sick. And they're never gonna release another one. And now there's like 17.
I
No,
remember
of course
that.
they're gonna
I
release more
bought the
Karambits.
Reaver. I got fucking gaslit into buying it.
Wow.
Now we're here. Honestly,
The-
we need to talk about people trying to pressure others into buying skins. It's a leech on society. Guys, buy the skin if you want to. I had an experience with, I'm going to cancel someone here on the podcast, with one Shio Wager. This man is a master manipulator, a dutiful gaslighter. And when the bat came out, if you guys remember the kaplam poo pow bat skin, he gaslit me into getting the bat skin. I said, I'm considering buying it. And he bullied me relentlessly for an hour until not only did I purchase the bat skin, but I bought $100 worth of Valorant points because, quote, I will be buying more skins in the future. And I did buy more skins in the future. And I still regret it. And
That was genuinely a fucking skin salesman. He's been doing that to me for
I
like
think he's made Riot
years.
more money than anyone else.
And he's also spent more money than anybody else.
Are you guys buying this bundle or what?
No.
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 I don't
actually
spend money
like
on
these
anything
skins.
except housing, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I like these skins legitimately. I do, but the problem here is that I also don't buy skins.
I think they're pretty cool.
It's a
You know,
great
I
segment.
like the blue theme.
I feel like people really like the Ion. I saw when they dropped this, I saw there were waves being
that card
made
is
online. The commenters were commenting and engaging with posts, but I'm not. I feel like they're just regular. You know what I mean?
I can tell that,
Yeah.
man. You're definitely
game.
feeling type of way.
I'm not.
about
See,
it.
this
He's
is
back.
this is the whole time. This is my real reaction to the skins was the original freeze frame. Just that's my honest reaction to the skins.
Every ranked game I played, does anybody have the new Ion skin? The new Ion skin? Yo, I got the new Ion skin. Can I drop it to everybody? I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's just, it's infection, like Mimi said.
Yeah, people love
The
it. But
disease.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie though. I am like anybody have a skin for the op? I don't have one. I don't have
Dude,
enough.
society.
I don't have enough money, but I want to op. Oh yeah, and also, dude, this is the new map. It's the space and stuff. This is according to there was a leak, and by that I mean like a Riot dev just posted on Twitter in response to this that's a new map. So
Interesting.
little sneak preview.
I don't think this is in space.
Well, I think I just
looks
think
like
it's in
Star
space
Wars.
because it looks like the Rogue One Star Wars island with the
Well,
tower. You know what I mean?
I guess
they
have we
invade,
now does that mean Valorant lore is
blow up.
extraterrestrial? Have we moved into this outside the solar system in Valorant lore now?
I mean, I think
That's
that's
where
always been the
Radiant comes
case.
from.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Radiant
We've
just
been
like
in
what-
space.
didn't
They've
it-
been
didn't it
setting up for the
land?
Darth Vader Fortnite crossover, and this is
Oh,
when
for some
it's
reason
gonna
I was under
happen.
the impression it was like it like landed on Earth versus like we've been in space.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
It's not.
Okay. I forgot the lore masters. They guard their treasure mightily, and thus we can't reveal, or else they'll be sent to the lore gulag and the screws put to them. So
I thought KO was literally just like a Radianite farmer on like asteroids and shit, and he went crazy. Isn't that what happened?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
dude,
but
when it's so obscure. It feels like I'm playing Elden Ring trying to figure out the fucking lore for Valorant.
How do you guys feel about this, real quick?
is it KO's wife?
No, this transition here. Look at this. Look at this. Wait for it. Oh my god! Look at all the kills. Wait, there's
yep.
more to be had. Oh!
Yeah.
Damn. Yo, me and who?
Dude,
me
if-
and who? Who's that?
Me and him. Dude, if a team actually tried to, honestly, if there's a match next season, if it's like, I don't even know who, if it's like Cloud9 versus, what's it going to be, a bad team? I don't know.
EG.
That's mean.
I don't think that's the case.
MIBR.
Listen, if a team is up like 11-0, they should just try and recreate that just for the video, for the clip. 'Cause it's-
Honestly,
Wait,
I think
how?
it'd be a good
Why
play if
is it
Cream is on
mean
the
to
team.
dunk on EG but not any other team that's in the partnership circuit?
That's
I
because they're
understand
not
why
actually
EG
going to
gets a
be
pass.
bad. They're going
Okay,
to
They're not
yeah,
going to
sure.
be bad.
But I don't know the
Hella
roster, so
in the
I'm just proposing a theory. I'm just proposing a game theory.
Well, if you want to hear more of our thoughts on all the new rosters, stay tuned because we have segments for that later. Let's get into game.
Whoa!
There's breaking news.
What?
Oh no! What happened? Seangares departs 100
No!
Oh,
I'm selling my 100 Thieves jersey. What the?
god damn!
This is
My
fucked.
goat.
Well, okay, guys, can we be fucking serious for 1 second on this show? It's been a pleasure,
Okay.
Seangares. Sean has made the decision to step down from his role of head coach for 100 Thieves Valorant. So Sean has decided to step down. I also, then in conjunction with that, Mike's HD has been promoted to the head coach position. What does that tiny text say on the image, Kurt? Is it what's going on? Or is it just talking about how good Sean is? Today we part ways with Seangares. We're grateful for all this Immortal Mind has done for our Valorant program, from spirit to processes to tournament-winning timeouts. Sean has taken us to new heights. We wish him the best in future endeavors. Yep, orgs do be wishing people the best in their future endeavors. Orgs love to wish people the best in endeavors. I too wish Sean the best in his future endeavors. I mean, he definitely did. He definitely did a lot for the team, and all signs pointed to his coaching being. Can we be serious? All signs pointed to his coaching. You know, I come back to this show. I want to have a serious discussion about Valorant, and it's just memes, dude.
Dude, I'm so serious.
I've never made a joke in my life, I don't think.
Did a great job coaching.
Yep.
It's unfortunate that he's no longer there.
Yep.
He's no longer with us, but thank you, Sean, for your contributions.
Mike has
He's
been
alive
promoted.
still, Connor.
Okay, here's the question. Why? Why did this happen? Why did this occur?
Because he
Is there
loves
real
his wife
information,
and daughter.
or can we make shit up? Because I hope that's the case.
Well, George Geddes, the infamous reporter, perhaps you've heard of him, George Geddes.
Yeah.
He's very
CNN
small in the
reporter.
scene. He's been very popping up recently with some very professional journalism. He said that 100 Thieves has announced that Seangares will be stepping down to pursue content creation.
They did say that in the video, that he's going to become a content creator for, I think, 100 Thieves.
Yes. So,
I
and
see.
the thing is, we didn't watch the full video. We just saw that he departed because here's the thing. I only read the headlines.
Yep.
So
Same.
I don't care, so it's better to wildly speculate than actually get the information. So yes, apparently content creation is his goal. And that makes sense because like Mimi said, he has a wife and 2 young children. You could just be at home, you probably not have to travel. I mean, who knows, obviously all the reasons, right? But it's a very obvious potential reason.
Yeah, the family man moment. That makes a lot of sense. I think
that and just
adds
like
up in my
him
brain.
enjoying the crap out of what he was doing before. I mean, I in the video as well, he talks about like, his competitive drive and all this sort of thing, and yeah, that was good for him, but at the same time, like when he was doing it, he was missing everything else, and he was really, really good at the other stuff that he was doing. So the fact that he had no time to pursue that sort of thing probably plays a part into it too.
I mean, he was flying to Texas like every time except global events. Yep. And then at global events, he was, well, I guess they only made one, but he was in Istanbul for a month. Like, that's sad. Like, Dan is like your second wife, but his wife was there too. So it's not like you even have Dan. So it makes total sense to me.
Yeah, it does make total sense. I remember seeing whenever, because they do the boot camps in those last many weeks, and Sean his family's quite young. His kids are pretty young, and I was always seeing him tweet that he was missing them and that kind of thing, and so that all adds up, all makes sense to me.
I just wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors.
Same. I do wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors.
Yeah, I mean, it's very sad that he's no longer with us, but he's left a great legacy behind, and so I also wish him the best in his future endeavors.
I mean, it's true, but I'm laughing because it just this is the problem with fucking funny people like you, Connor. You say something that's true, but there's still just this undertone of comedy, and it's gonna make me laugh. But what you're saying is true. But
it's sad that he's left us, and he still is alive, but he's not alive in competitive esports anymore. And so,
God damn it. Anyway, I wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors. Mike's HD though. His future endeavors they're now. He's been promoted to the head coach. Without Sean, is anyone worried about this project? If you're looking at the graph, is it graph downward emoji, or are we at graph upward emoji still?
I think we have to still be graph upward. I mean, just because the rest of the roster, in specific terms about the coaching, maybe we decline a little bit. I think Mike is really, really creative. But specifically, what I think works with this team is Sean is one of those guys who is, and Mike obviously has this ability too, but Sean, his ability to think about what the other team is doing and how it affects your mid games and the mind games that go through it, I think is unparalleled. So, and I think that would work really well with Stellar as IGL. Whereas I think if you're more, I don't know exactly Mike's style. It's impossible to actually speculate about his coaching style, but from what I've learned about Mike is his creativity and his structure that he brings is very, very, very good. And I think that may clash a little bit with Stellar, but that's just from an outsider not knowing anything about what these guys are actually doing.
It also depends on how big the like Dan, DDK talked a lot about the processes that were built with him and Sean and building the team. And it's very important that like you have a very clear structure to communicate with your team and give feedback to your team, because a lot of teams, including a lot of professional, like big organizations, they lack that structure at times to give proper feedback and a way to like develop your players that don't leave them frustrated, you know, where there's like a lack of communication. And it seems like him and Sean focused really heavily on building that with their current roster. And you could see it a lot in like their improvement from event to event. Like it's kind of like, oh, like we can incorporate feedback easily. We can then integrate it into our game and build to the next event. And hopefully they've left behind some of that process that I'm sure Mike was a part of, obviously, but it was definitely headed by Sean, I'm sure.
Well, actually, no, I think at the beginning, Sean was trying to get his grips on it. And they spoke about how Mike was the guy who basically he was kind of leading the team for the early portion of 100 Thieves.
Well, then great. In that case, I mean, then that leaves me really confident. If Mike's already willing, kind of setting those processes, then like if he has a good grasp of understanding how to give that feedback, because to me, a large part of a coach, like being a head coach, people misunderstand is like, oh, they have to be a brilliant game analyst, and it's like not necessarily. There's a lot more people leading and like feedback gathering and implementation than there is actual like pure game plan strategy. So like if Mike has a great grasp on that people aspect and the soft skills aspect, I think that's still like a very good indicator for their success.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, Mike's has been a head coach before too. Like he had like a pretty reasonable stint with his stuff with Envy, even though he got trolled in the end where they made an international event. And he's just very smart guy, already integrated in the team. I think this is a much better outcome than like keeping him an assistant coach and like bringing someone else in new, because he built the systems with Sean, so he can just continue to evolve them on his own or with another analyst or assistant coach that they pick up under him. I think it's an upward graph emoji because they have cryo and the team score was already really good, and it's a similar system that they can continue to build with Mike. So I don't think this should be too big of an issue, but you definitely are losing out on some stuff with Sean because he's a very smart guy.
I think the team of those two worked really, really well together to enable Sean to like fully utilize his best skills. Now Mike is going to have to do a lot more, but I think he's totally up to the job.
Yeah, I agree. Upward graph emoji. Okay. No more breaking news, right? Okay. I think that was Zelsis. I think I saw Zelsis. I don't know what's going on. Cloud9 White. They dominate Game Changers yet again for the 47th Game Changers in a row. They have simply dominated everybody, qualifying for the international championship in first place. I mean, at this point, I mean, they have to be the favorite for winning Berlin as well, right? I mean, at least from what I've seen, to me, and that is not to discredit the teams from the other regions, but they're just that good at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that sentiment, Mimi?
I absolutely agree with that sentiment. I think that there's some good teams in other regions, and I think it'll be competitive. But I think what makes Cloud9 so good and why I think they're going to be so good internationally is because you look at the really pretty good teams in NA, like Misfits, like Shopify. These are really solid squads that have been working to build stuff for a while. For Misfits, it's like with arguably one of the best Game Changers players who's just a cracked out child in Fluorescent, but still every game Cloud9 plays against those teams, against a TSM, an Exit, anything, they just fucking hyper-pound them. Like, the grand finals was extraordinarily bedge because Cloud9 was just a completely different tier of team than Shopify. Their individuals are just so absurdly good. After 2 years together, their coordination is always, like, impeccable. And so many of their players are so, like, adaptable. Mel in particular, like, I feel like her calling has grown so much over her time with this team. And it's like, I think they've said it themselves, but their goal is never game changers. Their goal is to be the best team they can be. And that's pushed them as a byproduct to be far and away the best game changers team because they're just playing everything. They're majority playing like open events and other things that are building them up. That they just go into these events and absolutely dumpster dominate shit on everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely right. I mean, also they have like the most talented, or like a huge amount of the most talented players. And then they also have the tenure. They've just been playing together for such a long time. And now at this point, they've also just added in Bob to the team, who's been fucking sicko mode. So they've just, they've just got it all, right? I mean, they've just covered all their bases as far as a team can go.
I didn't even feel like they were trying in this tournament, to be honest, until like Shopify upper bracket, and then they realized, oh, this is, even if it's somewhat close in the grand finals, it didn't feel like that either. These ladies are just insane. I wouldn't have said that they would have been the clear favorites before this tournament, but I think Bob has gotten way better as well as an individual, and that to me just strikes me as that not only is the entire team keeping up with her, like she's not even playing duelist, you know. The way that she stays alive, the way that she's actually, I think she went like 8-0 in first kills, first deaths in multiple series, which is just crazy as an initiator player. It's like saucy level stats at champions way back when, and I think probably the best run from anybody at in game changers yet. And that's the same thing for Cloud9 White, the most dominant run in a time when Game Changers NA is starting to peak the most with the rest of the teams. So yeah, I think they're clear favorites now internationally. Though I haven't really seen too much of Team Liquid, so I don't know what to say about them.
Yeah, I think that's a good point though about about the scene peaking though as well. Like with Misfits at the moment and with Shopify, and. Yeah, if like looking back, the previous Game Changers is the first one where they had Bob playing, and they were good, but that was early into Bob actually being on the roster, and now with a bit more time, the level of play was just way higher. And that was I mean, it just looks so effortless against better competition.
I mean, like Paul was saying, like they played off comps for pretty much the entire tournament. Besides the grand finals, where I think they showed some of their real comps, but for the most part, it was very clear that their focus wasn't on this tournament at all, but on Berlin, which I think is why they're going to be so incredibly dangerous there. Because I don't think they've actually shown much that is going to be preppable for teams they're playing in Berlin.
Yeah, I mean, they were also, this tournament barely even mattered for them, right? Because they'd been qualified for Berlin for ages based off the amount of points.
One match.
They had to win their first
it was literally like just free for them because they had won so much before this that it was like disgusting. And this is after them trolling the last Game Changers where they just like forgot to show up to their match in time or whatever and like forfeited. So like it's crazy. Like this, it's just one of those dynasties. It's a dynasty, you know. It's like dynasty. What we think of like early Sentinels, for when we think about early North American Valorant, you know. But like, but real. So it's crazy. Just an insanely talented team, and Bob is clearly like has the mindset too. And when you see Bob talk on Twitter and interact with like a lot, I think like these upcoming players like Fluorescent and such, they are all talking about how much they want to grind still. Like Bob is like on the undisputed best team in North America currently. They've dominated, and all she wants to do is like just get better.
Yeah, for sure. Misfits were entertaining as hell this tournament. as well. And I know a lot of people were waiting for the fluorescent debut, just waiting until she was old enough to play, and this was the tournament. And that like duo of Floor and Vernina was pretty nasty. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, Connor, you've got the inside secrets. You were in the Misfits camp. You were there, witnessing it all in real time. Then you got some behind the scenes tidbits for us.
I mean, honestly, they're just pog. I mean, legitimately, like Fluorescent is just. It's one of those things where like they have a lot of great prep. I think their coach Chris and assistant coach Grego, like they obviously put in a lot of prep work. Chris, if you've ever played with him in like ranked, he's like the rattiest player in the history of mankind. All he does is he's literally just the rat lineup god. Is like all he does. He's just the spike planter and utility user. So like they dream up a lot of stuff, and like they definitely put a lot of structure into this team. But the big thing for them is that they just have a lot more talent. They just have a lot of talent on this roster right now, especially with like Floor joining the lineup, but also getting to add up like when you have like Slandy, getting some great supportive frags. She's continually getting better with like utilizing utility to set up the team, and like Nina, who's always been a very solid, consistent fragger, right? And so it's just like they have a great squad, and it's not like insanely complicated about what they do. It's more so they just finally have like a very, very good team, and they're working on solid fundamental gameplay all the time. And there's only room to go upwards because it's still relatively new roster comparatively to like a C9 White, Yeah. And on top of that, Floor is like 15 years old and still has another like 7 years biologically before her brain is like developed at like actually more than that, like 10 years technically, because it's like 25 is when they say your brain stops growing. Like it's just so it's just crazy. I mean, she was literally telling me it's like after Game Changers was over and she would like popped out of control. Besides like that one match where unfortunately she had like a very unfortunate raise performance on one map, but she was like, yeah, I'm gonna grind Overwatch 2 now and try to get top 500 in Overwatch 2, like a game I've literally like never played. And like, I don't know if anyone's been watching any of the Valorant pros that have been playing tac shooters for like 10 years trying to play Overwatch. It's abysmal. It's not good. It's very bad. But Floor, she has the neural elasticity because she's so fucking young that she's like, she's gonna learn that shit. She's gonna learn that shit 100%.
Just brain chemistry shit that I never thought we'd get to learn on the podcast. That's crazy.
She's gonna learn that 100%.
I'm gonna be insane once I have a brain. I'm really waiting for that day. I'm very excited.
Connor, do you want to, since it was in episode 109.5, do you want to share that story again really quick? Because it's pretty funny.
Oh, what? When Floor said we were at dinner, and so Floor, she's like, I had to complain to her too, because like all the time I'm like, Floor, why are you always fucking down bad on my timeline? Like literally every time you post, you're like posting like down bad shit. I'm like, stop that. And secondly, she was like, oh yeah, are you like 19 to me at dinner? And I was like, no. And like, you are the youngest 27-year-old I've ever met. And I'm like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to like take into account. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean necessarily. Is that like, but then Mimi thought I was like 24 apparently.
She thinks you're a man child.
Yeah.
Compliment.
Oh, a man child. That's what I love to hear. Everyone loves being a man child. That's my favorite compliment.
Yep. It's not the workouts. It's not the skincare routine. It's not your healthy diet. It's
the boss baby.
That's a good
He's real
image.
Yeah, she's very funny. Floor is a very funny person. And then I got to see her and KDO's like PayPal expenses, and it was all skins for Floor, just thousands of dollars of skins, and then thousands of dollars to Genshin Impact for KDO. So
Gotcha names.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Got to teach him some good financial responsibility there, Connor.
Honestly though, like with Misfits in this tournament, like this was the first Game Changers where I was actually like not capping when I was saying that it was legitimately a very close tournament. Cloud9 still dumpstered everyone. You can just put a tier gap between #1 and everybody else, but I actually thought everyone else was insanely close. Shopify lost like 2 series in this event overall, or just 1 in the qualifiers. I don't remember, but they were getting upset. They were playing close games against absolutely everyone. TSM, a top 3 finish last time, went out in the first round. EG, who's been top 4 in every single Game Changer since the first one, went out in the first round. Like the teams like Cole and Misfits and even IMT, who have been like investing in kind of like the unknown, like cracked out Zoomers and trying to like develop teams to compete, are actually getting to a point where they're really close with those top 4 teams and are able to beat them. But still, Cloud9 is just good enough that it does not matter whatsoever. But I think a lot of respect is deserved for Misfits with their run, obviously, and also for complexity, for completely rebuilding like just a little bit before this tournament and coming out and finding really, really good placements with that team. I think that Game Changers heading into next year is going to be more and more interesting. I don't think Cloud9's ever going to lose. I think you're off the fucking goop if you think that. But I think everyone else can lose, which is good.
Yeah.
Do you mean that in NA or overall, Mimi?
NA. I haven't fully watched the other regions yet, so I don't want to speak to that. Yeah, I mean, it happened in EU. G2 Gozen got upset by Guild in the final, so I guess it's getting closer there as well. I'm not sure as much about how their other teams besides like their top 3 are doing, but that's certainly the case in NA right now.
Yeah. How would you compare the EU teams to the NA teams? Like, which teams do you think are comparable, I suppose?
I'm honestly not sure. I think that for the international, though, I think that Guild and Gozen are going to be competitive, but I would rate them from, again, the little tape I have watched as a similar tier to like a Shopify, like really good, really solid team. But I'm still of the opinion that I think after this run, Cloud9 is just a step above pretty much everyone. I think maybe Gozen, maybe Team Liquid Brazil could compete, but I would put them as like the same competitive level as like a Shopify. They can take a map or 2 off, but it's unlikely to win a series unless they have a really good day. Maybe that's extreme copium, but I legitimately think Cloud9 is just that good.
Yeah, I haven't watched much of the EU either, and it's like all I've seen is individual moments from some of the players on G2 and Guild, and they're definitely nasty, but I can't really ascribe anything to them as a team. So outside of what I think about Cloud9 and how I perceive the potential for teams to get up that high, I can't really speak to anything else.
Yeah, I just want to touch on something before we go to the next topic. If you want to watch more Game Changers before Champs, Game Changers with Brazil is happening right now, and Game Changers...
The Brazilian teams are actually sick. You should watch it.
Game Changers LATAM is also happening on the 22nd, I believe. I think it's just a singular matchup between Crew and... Does anybody remember the name?
Oh, it has like a pink logo.
It has a cool logo. I'll find...
Yeah. Like Fatal or something? Is it?
Firepower.
Firepower.
They have a cool pony. Nice. So
let's go.
If you want to watch that, it will be on the 22nd. So,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I've not watched any of the South American Game Changers before, so I have to take a look at that before the actual international event happens. But all right, from one Cloud9 to the other. The roster has been officially announced with a little silly video, and it's official. Everybody knew it, but now we really know it. They've got Yay, and they have also got Zelsis, and they've restructured the coaching staff. They've now got MCE over from the Guard, who used to work alongside a lot of those guys in CSGO before they all switched over, and they also have an assistant coach as well, whose name is something like Cupert, right?
Cupert,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
It was really interesting too because he's like, there's been people postulating that like theoretically he could like stand in as a 6th man.
He is officially the 6th man. So he's the sub and also he's analyst too. So literally,
isn't that against the rules?
About that no, because how could you stop somebody from just doing analyst work as the 6th?
I think it's not because analyst isn't like a real role under like the Riot rules.
I see.
Yeah,
I just remember when they were looking at the rules, they were trying to make it so that people couldn't multi-role with certain things like that. Like you can't be a coach and a player.
I think it's coach, GM, and player.
Yep.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah. So what are you saying?
Who is this guy? Why do I recognize his face?
It's
Slime.
Yeah.
Isn't that the Smash guy?
Yeah.
Why is he? What does he have to do with Valorant or Cloud9? Why is he there?
Oh, he has some clout.
That's
why he's there, maybe. He's got followers. That's why he's there.
I didn't know who he was.
I think he is a fan of Valorant. He watches some Valorant stuff. I think
I'm actually a fucking B boomer right now. Sorry.
Everything.
Keep going.
That's okay. That's all right. It's hard to know every influencer. There's so many people out there influencing every day.
I
No,
try
it's
and
hard
get
to get
influenced as
influenced
much
by
as
them all.
possible.
I'm so disappointed in Mimi right now. Like, come on, you have so much to learn. It's crazy.
My brain's not going to be developed for 5 more years. Give me a break. Yeah.
True.
All right. Is this team though? Are they going to? Is this an optic tier team? That is my question. Is this an
Yes.
optic tier team? And when I say that, I mean a team capable of they can make back-to-back finals. They can consistently be in that upper echelon. Can win tournaments. And you're just saying yes. Well, you're on board.
100%. I mean, okay. Number one, they have Ye, and any team with Ye is the best player in the world, hands down. I think anybody who says otherwise is, I don't know. But I think as well as the upgrades to the coaching staff too. I don't necessarily want to say upgrades, but MC just has so much. Everybody's always talking about what this guy could do with a top tier team. He brought the guard from a bunch of people who you didn't know about, even some ranked players, and made them tournament capable. And he's now with his old teammates. He now has a ton of experience on how to generate all the different processes and whatever from multiple teams. And then you have the core that I think should be rejuvenated enough to go after it and not kind of slack. I feel like we did this year. So Cloud9 easily should be in that tier. Should be on paper.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the big question it hinges upon, right? Is how much does this core of Vanity, Leaf, and Zeppa be? How do they look with the new structure and working with Ye and Zelsis? Because that's like the determining factor of like if this team is going to be. Because if you take that core's, I think results from this past year, I don't think that would be a case. Like you can't really make a case that this team will be optic tier. But if this core now, like the new coaching staff and structure, then yeah, I mean, if you base off their other years, there is a chance that they could be optic tier. I'm not really going to jump in to be like, yeah, I 100% think they're going to be there yet. But like, I think the difference is like, I do believe the potential is there for them to do that, right? And that's the real thing. Like, it's one thing if you look at a roster straight up and be like, nah, I don't think they'll ever on paper anything like be able to reach those sort of heights. But if you see all the potential there, I think it's possible for this team. It's just how does this core how does this core work together with these new additions and with MC?
I think I'm going to hop on the hype train. I think I'm going to send it. I think this team can actually be really, really good. Like the end of 2021 Cloud9 core of Leaf, Zeppa, Vanity. Like we were talking about Leaf as being like one of the best players in the world, competing to that level. At LCQ, they were insane. At Champs, they looked really good. Vanity has a consistent way of being able to lead teams really, really well to at least be close to competing at that craziest level. And I think him and MCE will be as a very good duo because for Cloud9, they've kind of washed through coaches in the past, kind of moved around with who's the supportive staff, and Vanity's been more of the constant since he joined that team. And I'm wondering if there's something there about like, like the leadership, different ideas between Vanity and the different coaches they've worked with in the past. And I'm thinking maybe with MCE, a lot of that will be absolved because that kind of coach IGL duo and synergy between each other is really important for teams, and these guys have that. They built a really, really amazing roster back in Counter-Strike together. They're friends, they know each other, they have that working relationship already, which I think will kind of develop a strong leadership core inherently. I think you have insane talent on this team. Like I think both Leaf and Zeppa have crazy ceilings that they can still hit, and Ye is Ye. And I think also Zelsis proved in this LCQ that he can be a really, really strong player that can compete. I think his performance and his flexibility was one of the big reasons that Sentinels was elevated beyond a meme into an actual competitive team. So I have a lot of faith in this team that it can push to be a legitimate contender of hitting that optic level.
I think one of the other things we saw with Vanity in general is when conditions are good, he's fucking like him and his team's performances are so far and away above what you even expected them to do. And I think that conditions are now peak, right? He has the players he wants around him. He has the coaching staff he wants around him, like 100%. And until that changes, which who knows, it could within 6 months, like we've seen multiple times now with him, both on version 1 and Cloud9 in the last iteration. you're still going to see insane performance from Cloud9. I think that to me is my biggest like thing I can think of that should indicate a little bit of what's to come with Cloud9.
Yeah, I'm down to jump on the hype train, for a few reasons. I mean, one, they have the best player in the world now, and previously the best player on that team was up there with some of the best players in the world. So now I think when Leaf gets to be your second best guy, I mean, that's pretty fucking crazy, because on 99% of teams, he would be the best player on that team.
Yep.
But in this case, he is the second best, and he's ultra flexible. So that's the one dynamic. Second, I think I think getting MCE is just huge. I think with the guard, he displayed his ability to make something out of, I don't want to say something out of nothing, because that kind of, discredits the players a bit, but like he was able to turn inexperienced players into top level contenders, and he did that. It's not just about the good scouting. I mean, that's like that's the foundation, but it's what happened after that, which is his ability to instill good habits and a good work environment for players to thrive in. I know that's something that's very important to him, and I've spoken to him personally about some of his philosophy in regards to that. And I think he has an extremely sound approach to getting players to feel comfortable in the team and buy into the team and push them to be their best, but not to like an unreasonable, like drill sergeant extent where he's trying to, like, I think he has a good understanding of people and how to get them to perform at their best. I think him being there is huge. I think as far as Zelsis goes, I think he has been playing well this year, and then also with Sen, he definitely seemed like a personality leader on that team. He had the charisma, and he was one of the guys that he seemed to be the guy that was getting the team excited and keeping the mood up and that sort of thing, which I feel like whenever, I mean, I swear whenever you would see Cloud9's cams in their matches this year, everybody looked fucking boomed all the time. I don't know if you guys remember that, but I swear it would switch to their cams. People were hitting their desks. Everybody looked in dismay and in despair every time. I swear, if you go back and check, and
They did.
they need. So I feel like
smiling.
getting the guy in there who's going to be hype as shit, making everybody bark and whatever he's doing, like, but like in the fun way, like how Van Silly bark. See what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about.
Honestly,
You
if
could
I'm
just
MC,
tell the
my first thing, turn on the
vibes
lights.
were fucked. They needed a vibe shift. The vibes were so off. And I think Zelsis, so you have I feel like he's part of the vibe shift, and so is MC. I feel like both of them vibe shift, and then you bring in Ye, best player in the world. So you got the Ye and Leaf duo that can just frag out of control. And if I listen, I believe. All that being said, I believe. I'm on the hype train. Sign me up. Get me on board. I've got my ticket. I'm going on to the Hyperloop hype train or whatever the fuck. Why were we talking about Hyperloop earlier? Fuck Hyperloop.
I hate Elon Musk. Next topic.
Do we have anything else on Cloud9, or are we going to move on?
They're gonna be good.
That's about all there is to it. I mean, overall, like, it's just a very promising roster. Just have to see how it performs.
Okay, bet. Next topic. Where is Marved? Where is he? Where is Marved? Where'd he go? Marved has, I believe the screenshot is from his Twitch chatbot command. If you want to pull that up, Kurt, in reference to where he's at with his career, or I'm not sure if he posted something more officially. Okay, so there's also an interview on Dottie Sports. Gotcha. So he has a Nightbot command. I did have many offers of the franchise league, but with feelings of being burnt out for a while and my current life situation with family, friends, and loved ones, also with how much traveling needs to be done, I've decided as of right now to take a break. That does not mean I'm done, but as of now, I will be taking a break. So Marved did have offers in the franchise league, but from what he's saying, of his own volition, he's decided that it is not the time for him to take up any of those offers and continue playing. This is the article from .esports here. And sorry, was this in, is there any quotes from him down there, Kurt, if you scroll down a bit? Okay. He's saying the Optic player wants to rest after an exhausting year and solve some personal matters at his home. Quote, I want to stay home. I don't want to move to LA yet. Not quite yet, Marv said. I've got stuff I've got to do and to take care of at home. I have obligations. What you guys don't get is that it was kind of exhausting last year. I played a lot of games. For franchising, you have to move to Los Angeles, and it's not the time for me to do that right now. I'm still young. I mean, you know, that is reasonable. You know, when you take up one of these offers, you are dedicating a lot to do so. You know, you are foregoing personal life, personal ties. You have to fucking grind out of your mind to play the game because, listen, that's what these fucking kids are doing. I mean, like, so, and when this Marved is at the point in life, and specifically we'll talk about, I'll say in esports, where you're transitioning out of your younger gamer years into a part of your life where you kind of start to reflect on that, and you begin to have more adult responsibilities. There are more things that you want to do. Oftentimes you'll find other passions or things of that nature. You want to be around loved ones, shit like that. Whereas, you know, when Connor, like in reference to like what you were saying earlier with Misfits, like talking to Floor and whoever, like for those people, all they know is Valorant. They just want to play Valorant. All they buy is skins. They don't have any thoughts about anything else yet in life. Their world is Valorant. And when I think Marv is like 22, and I think when you're around that age, you just begin to think about more things, and there are more things going on. And to be committed to one of these franchise teams, if you really want to be good and you really want to make a run, you have to grind as hard as these fucking kids who all they know and do is Valorant. And so you are just committing so much time, and that's also, you know, yeah, like Marv is from Toronto, and he'd have to move to LA, and that's another big commitment. And you know, there's the event in Brazil that was announced. You'd be gone for like how long has that been? 3 weeks or something? 4 weeks? So you're going to be gone for like essentially a month for an event like that. I mean, what?
This is the ESIC homepage.
Oh, Kurt.
Who
pulled that up?
Which producer was that?
Who produced that segment?
I know you're spitting facts, but isn't this just the reality? Like, he's probably not going to be allowed to play in it. He's probably being investigated.
Why do we say that though?
I'm just stirring up drama. We want clicks. This is the reality.
Well, I mean,
everything he said is a lie.
If he had received offers, though, I mean, that's interesting. I'm just
gaslighting.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real thing. But I'm gonna be honest. After seeing ESIC's like behavior and how they carry that organization for the past like 2-3 years,
they've only fucking done anything in Australia, bro.
Like, I'm gonna keep it a stack too.
ESIC is fucking worthless.
Yeah, so. let's be real. Even if if ESIC did say something, it's been long enough. No one would give a fuck. It doesn't even matter at this point. Yeah. So seriously, would anyone care?
It's true.
No one would care.
I mean, that's also another thing.
No one would care.
People forgiving more heinous shit than that. So
also, I don't blame him and whoever else he was doing it with, because they were like kids getting paid nothing trying to pursue a career in esports. So
yeah, and that's not
more people doing the same thing.
And when I say no one would care, I don't necessarily mean no one would care. Like, they should. We should be up in arms, and we should make sure that there's severe punishment for all this shit. I mean, it's been a long ass time. And again, what I was saying, we're talking about fucking very young people doing stupid shit. And there's got to be alleged stupid shit. And there's also just got to be some amount of time where they've moved on from that, and you can forgive them for making dumbass mistakes when they were young. And at this point, I think that would just be exactly what would happen. I don't think anyone would care at this point, even if what is alleged is true. And I don't think that's. I mean, I'm taking what he's saying here at face value, and I think it makes a lot of sense. And I mean, he's of the caliber player as well that like he, so long as he continues to play the game. Because here's the thing. It is easy to fall behind in. Sorry, I'm just like fucking ranting. I'm gonna let someone talk,
No.
but I'm just gonna say also, as long as he can keep up, because when a game, this is the period in a game's existence where the level of play can shoot off and get so good that if you're not in the mix, you can begin to fall off really fast. And especially in a game where there's so many updates, etc., like you got to have your finger on the pulse as far as gameplay goes, right? So long as he can stay with that, I mean, I think he'll be fine to jump back whenever.
All right, what do you guys think?
Enough experience at the top level that 100%, even a year from now, he'll be fine to jump back in if that's what he wants to do.
Good for him. Take time for himself.
This guy was the best controller in the world. He was that level. It's not gonna disappear in 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, also it's like this is the like in some ways it's better to jump into these sort of things now while you're young because you haven't committed to that much other stuff. But also now this is the time that if he feels like he's burnt out, you should explore that feeling currently before jumping into a team and then realizing, holy shit, I'm burnt out. And then you want to potentially bail on them in like the middle of a season, It's more responsible for his overall mental health and the realization, like, because this has happened with other teams throughout all sorts of esports history, where someone has like, oh, I'm going to commit to this squad, but I've been feeling burnt out, but like, surely I'm going to get better as we get closer to the season starts. And then season starts, you're in the fucking grind, and you're like, I hate my life, and I don't want to be doing this right now. So it's better to explore this now before you've committed to that than is to commit to it thinking you're going to improve during the season. So he's making the more mature decision in that respect if he truly is conflicted, right? If that's the part of the reason for why he's not playing, is like, it is better to just not commit at all to begin with and then jump back in when he feels ready versus jumping in when you're only half ready. Because it's a very big decision to make. And also because he is young and he was so good, he can always come back. He can come back if that's what he wants to do. So it's honestly mature of him to do it in that respect. So
yeah.
Toronto's better than LA. I agree with him. Based.
I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, 100%. Yeah. Toronto is
true.
better than LA. Fuck that city. So
yeah. Also extremely super true. All right. We're moving on to the segment. Buy or sell. VCT America's 2023 rosters. Earlier, you saw the skin review. All right. We're kind of doing the same thing, but with the rosters. Are we copying or dropping these rosters? Okay. First up, we've got Cloud9, baby. Cloud9.
I mean, we buy. We
I mean, we kind of have to cop,
I mean,
right?
So I'm copying.
Yeah, just cop.
This is an easy cop. I mean, easy cop. I'm buying in. I've got my stocks. That is, that one. That's about as straightforward as it gets. And we already talked about the roster, so we don't need to spend a lot of time. What were you saying, Paul?
I was just gonna say, like, in terms of off-season moves, you get the best player in the world. You are S tier in terms of off-season moves, like, easily.
Yeah. Yep. It is that simple. Sentinels. They officially announced Def, who everybody knew they had Def anyway, but they officially announced it, and now we know they have these 5 guys. Cop or drop on this new Sentinels roster that is just ridiculous.
So by the way, before we go anywhere else, remember how I proposed that Sentinels just get Brazilian players and they did it? on the same podcast.
You did actually, yeah, you did do that.
I actually literally said this.
Yeah.
I literally said this. People clowned on me too for this segment, for the build your roster segment. They clowned on me, and who was right? And who was fucking right?
I think they should put
listen.
Zombs back on the roster with the Brazilian players.
Zomb's gonna be
Maybe
the sixth
stop
man.
it.
He's gonna be the
Maybe
sixth man.
Stop it right now.
He's gonna be their sixth man. Don't worry, and he's gonna be an analyst, and he'll be doing that. He'll be doing a full analyst segment in Brazil about how to piss off that fan base.
Very smart.
So I don't know what to think about this roster, honestly.
Yeah, I have so many more questions than I have answers with this. So, Bola, what are you feeling?
I spoke about like how I'm excited for this roster last episode, and I think there's so much potential with Def, the coaching staff, Zekin, who I thought was one of the hottest free agents on the market this season, and then Saucy and Pancada. I think Pancada was one of the guys who impressed me the most from Loud at the beginning, and I think he still has room to grow, and I think this is a perfect place for him to do it. And they're all going to move to LA anyway, so might as well fucking.
Yeah, I will cop, but I'm just the fact that the fact that they kept tens is crazy, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's just I feel like that is the question mark with this team for me. Def IGL, great. Zekin, great. Saucy, great. Pancada, great. Tens, could be, but it's just a big question for me, because I think all of this past year, what you could speculate on is Tens not playing well with Sentinels this year, or are Sentinels not using Tens effectively? And I mean, TBD, I guess. We will see when this roster actually plays, and with the new coaching staff they have. I mean, also coaching staff, great. I like the coaching staff too. So that's really the biggest question mark for me, is just what can they get out of Tens that the other old Sentinels couldn't this year?
Yeah, Tens is a big question mark for me. I think I get the vibe from this team. I look at them on paper, they should be great. Fantastic players, 2 world champions. I think the roles are very well kind of defined on this team. I think Zekin's flexibility adds a lot. I have a lot of faith in Def. I think the 2 coaches they picked up are probably like the 2 best coaches, maybe bar Sean and Mike, that we have in NA, or I don't know. But they're very good. They're very smart people. I'm not going to try and tier list. But also, I feel like this team might just be shit. I don't know. I see the Sentinels jersey. I see Tens. I feel maybe mediocrity. I don't know. I don't know why. Like, I don't have a clear reason for it. But it's like, are they going to be able to get Tens to be great? Because I feel like he was definitely very complacent in the last couple seasons for Sentinels, and was just kind of vibing. And I think he's a great player, and we've seen what he can do. And every other player on this roster is insane and are hyper grinders. It should be amazing. But I feel like it could just fall flat. I feel like it could just be like the classic super team blunder. But I think I'm a fool if I don't invest in this. I think this is fucking Bitcoin on the ground floor, but everyone knows about it. So I'm gonna cop. So it's not like Bitcoin at all, actually. But
yeah, I mean,
I get what
I'm going to cop this. I'm going to cop this, but not at all for any of the competitive aspects, but because of what it represents for like a roster. Because for 2 reasons. One, once again, Sentinels. I was actually, when I was in LA, I did get the chance to get dinner with some of the Sentinels people, and I'm gonna say, like, I was like, your clout game through the roof again. I can't believe you've done it. You've actually put the Brazilian superstars from the super team onto your roster, and you got one of the best free agents. Like okay, like you guys just do it. You guys just do it differently. So I'm copying it for like the numbers. The clout game is gonna be crazy. Literally crazy. And B, I'm copying it because if this works, it also shows to other North American teams, not that I think it's like necessarily was ever off the table, right? But I think it shows like there is more potential to be getting players from regions that aren't Europe and bringing them to North America potentially. for squads. It sets the precedent that we don't have to only have North American talent. We'll still obviously still be majority North American based, but like there is that possibility for like you can signal to other orgs like, what if we explore Brazil? What if we explore like what if we explore like South America and Latin America? Like what if we explore fucking SEA, right? Like I want to see, which technically C9 did with Zeta already, but like I really want to see how that experiment works out in terms of utilizing some great players from a Brazilian super team and what that signals for like in North American's Valorant franchise moving forward. So I'm copying it in general for what they represent. They're more of an idea than a roster to me. So
yeah, they represent the idea that Clout can win too.
Clout can literally fix everything.
Also, they might have saved the Americas League next year because Loud probably just would have won it. So they broke up Loud and GG.
Yeah, that is crazy that we went from 0 Brazilian super teams to 1 Brazilian super team that won champions, and we're back to 0 Brazilian super teams.
To be fair, they said they had so many. The Loud players said they had so many offers,
happened.
anyways. That like I doubt Sentinels was the straw that broke the camel's back, right? Like I bet they had like the Loud players had like a shit ton of offers, is what they said, right? So they had a lot of people going for them.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one. Is 100 Thieves, I believe, right? Yep, 100 Thieves. Let's go. That's the only image of Stellar available online. There are no other images, so we just had to use that one. All right. And, well, I suppose also Copper Drop with knowledge of the new coaching staff, which is, 100 Thieves without Sean, with a promoted Mike, and one move in the offseason, which is just a straight upgrade of Will to Cryo. Cop or drop? What are y'all thinking?
Extreme coppage. 100 Thieves, already good. Already very good. Asuna, awesome player. Derek, awesome player. Bang, awesome player. Stellar, awesome player. Solid IGL. Still have the same coach. Still have the same leadership in the IGL of Stellar. They proved the upward trajectory that they had by making it to champions and actually being really good there. Biggest criticism of the team was sometimes Will can be a little bit of a choker on the chamber. What do? Minus Will plus one of the best chambers in the world in Cryo. That just feels like a W upgrade to me. Will's not a bad player, but Cryo is just better than him. And you still have the really strong core. You still have the solid leadership. And unlike some of the like freshly renovated teams that you're sweeping up, you're making something brand new. You have some of that experience. You have that core already built together. These players already know how to play with each other. It's only a matter of integrating one new person. I think this team is going to be really good. I don't think they're going to be like Optic level. I would still like place Cloud9 higher than them in like my investment chart, but I would say my stocks are really pretty high on this team.
I'm also Cop. I think they shouldn't have made too many changes this offseason just because of their results. And if they did, I think things would be in the opposite direction. Not necessarily depending on who they get, but yeah, I mean, Cry is just a massive upgrade. So same reasons. Cop.
Yeah. Also Cop. They've been improving. I mean, it's just repeating the same stuff, but yeah, I mean, they've been improving. They made the easiest upgrade, I think the most obvious upgrade you can make on this team. Literally just get one of the best duelists in the game, and that's it. Like that easy fucking upgrade, plug them into the system, and keep building for what we were doing already. All good. So yeah, easy Cop. Connor?
I'm copping.
Okay.
I'm copping.
Easy.
It's just this is the team. If Sentinels is the team, I'm copping because of the idea. I'm copping 100 Thieves because of like literally because of the Borpa business process that's been done. Like the process like they built the previous year, I'm copying for that because of like what they show and how they can iterate from event to event. That's the main reason I'm copping this squad is because like you believe in the future growth of them as they've improved time over time and all the solid things they've done in between events. So and they get great roster on top of that.
Yep. All right, we've had some easy cops. NRG. This one I think is potentially more interesting.
Well, yo, Quick's looking a little different.
That's Crashies.
That's Crashies. Yeah.
Whoops.
That's Crashies.
That's fine. We all know that's Crashies.
Yeah.
All right, NRG, Cop or Drop. It's the Optic core of Victor, Finesse, and Crashies. Psalm staying from NRG previous, Artist coming in. Some of this stuff is still rumored, I think, right? But this is like as far as the rumor mill goes. This is where we're at right now. And of course, if things change, you know, we can update our copying or potential dropping. But as of right now, this is what the rumored roster looks to be as far as we know. What are you guys feeling, Ball? Or Ball, I'll start with you. What are you feeling on this one?
Cop. Has to be Cop. This is Optic plus Artist. Has to be Cop.
Okay. I mean, that's a reasonable stance. But for some...
I mean, I only have so much money. I'm dwindling my cash.
Exactly.
You see how much money every
Okay,
cop
then
is?
I'm not buying 100 Thieves.
It's like 4 bags of money. But like, okay, I think it's unfair for me to buy every single NA team. I think it's only fair to buy a couple. And it's like, I don't know who I have more. I have the same conundrum I have with Sentinels. They should be really good. The player caliber is really good. The coaching staff is really good. And they both have amazing cores. But what if we live in a wacky, whimsical world and they're not good? I don't know if I believe that. I don't think I believe that, Truth. Because honestly, you cannot go wrong with this core of players. Like the support core of Optic plus Victor is just insane. Artist is really good. I think he'll be able to fill 1-for-1 in most of Ye's roles. We've talked in the past kind of like, oh, maybe it's a slightly different playstyle, but I think it'll be fine. They have plenty of time to integrate him. I think the only worry point is Psalm, but I also think he's really good. And I think that if he was given the time to like flex hard into the controller role and just kind of dedicate to that, I think he could maybe not fully fill the shoes of Marved, but I think that's fine. I think it will be a downgrade from when they were Optic, obviously, because it's no longer Ye, it's no longer Marved, who are two just like absolute best in class role players. But I think it's still good, and I think it's still good enough to cop. If I gave some like 2 money bags to others, I'll give this one like a 1.9 money bags cop.
Yeah, I guess we didn't specify how much money we have to spend on copying and dropping. And what
It's an esoteric idea. Let's not.
It is an
we're not
esoteric
getting too deep into the weeds.
I think
here.
one
That's
thing
true.
you could do is like maybe like a
Number
medium
rating.
cop. I only had one
Medium
day to
cup?
build all of this, so
that's fair.
You can
Kurt, that's
interpret
fair.
it as you wish. You know, it's up to your own discretion.
I'm gonna say that here. I'm just gonna say I'll just be bold and brave, and I'll just do it. I'm not copying mostly because there's nothing intriguing to me about it. There's nothing.
Artist is not intriguing
Oh,
about the only import in NA, pretty much.
Artist is intriguing. Artist is intriguing, but what they've built here is not intriguing to me. They've not built anything interesting to me. Sentinels, I'm like, now wait a minute, Cloud. That's interesting. I look at 100 Thieves, I'm like, okay, wait, a process-based team that's been improving event to event. Interesting. Very interesting. And then I look at this team, I'm like, what if we just took the best core in the world, one of the best cores in the world, and then we put Psalm and Artist on it? And I'm like, it just doesn't interest me that much. Now, I will say Psalm does give some content clout. He brought everyone out to a fishing trip recently, and that was funny.
That's good content.
That was funny.
That was really funny.
Good old American
So that might
bonding.
actually save the cop. Fuck it, I'll cop him. Why not, actually? Fuck it, you know?
All right. Well, then you know
why
what?
not?
I'll be the only drop because I was gonna go kind of with what you said, Connor. Here's the problem for me. It's not that this team is not going to do well, and it's not that they couldn't be great. They could be, but with the other teams that we were looking at, upwards graph emoji. I just, as an investor, you can't get me excited about Optic, but they don't have Ye and Marved. And even though they got 2 other really good players, you're just talking about Ye and Marved. You're talking about 2 of the players that would be in like your top 5 or 4 or whatever the fuck, right? Like, so no matter what, when they're getting when Ye and Marved are no longer with the team, they're getting players that are not going to be as good as Ye and Marved, and thus my chimp brain is like, well, that's just not satisfactory. Downward graph emoji.
We're trading with insider information. The plebs have not bought yet. You know, the announcement's not out yet, so we're buying. You know, I'm thinking NRG stocks are still at the level of NRG stocks before this. So NRG did the best possible thing they could have possibly done in the offseason. So it has to be a cop.
Sure, for the okay, that's a fair point of view. For the org, yes.
Yes.
The org, if that is fair. I'm looking at it, I guess, from the perspective of this is Optic, basically, rather than this is NRG that have changed their entire team. That, you know what? I think you might have convinced me. You actually, I think you got me, Balla. Never mind, Kurt. I'm copping. I'm copping.
I just feel so wrong that we're only copping. You know, we need to be dropping too.
Give us something to drop, Kurt. I want something to drop.
Balla convinced me. I was ready to drop.
Dude, I genuinely think the orgs that we've seen so far have done a very good job. You're
right, Balla. From the org point of view, that's definitely you're right. You're right.
What about this?
Evil geniuses.
All right,
That's the rumor. This is crazy.
this is the rumor, and I'll just say it. Drop. I'll do it. I'll go first. Drop.
Yeah, I think. Well, to say why, Connor. It was a fast drop.
I mean, it's just when you look at the initiatives that I think a lot of these other teams have been taking, this doesn't seem that competitive. It doesn't seem like EG had one good run with a roster that's not going to be the roster he's now. Granted, they're adding supposedly rumored Ethan and Superman, right? And like, I think Superman is actually a very solid controller player. Definitely in the upper tier of like what I think of like some of the best in North America. And I think Ethan's good and solid, but I once again, I just look at this roster and it just is like, it just doesn't impress me across the board. It seems like a roster that'll be fine. Like, I think people are like want to clown on EG, myself included, just for the memes at times. Cause like, oh, it's EG, ha. I don't think this roster is going to be like awful if this is indeed the actual roster. I think there's some good talents. Like Jogamo went crazy at points. And then Ethan Superman, I think are both good additions. It's just, it just doesn't seem like it's stacking up against some of these other announced rosters, and that's the big thing.
Yep,
for me.
I was fighting the evil geniuses slander for so long, but then I see Ethan rumored to join this team, and I think Ethan's a great player. But bro, I thought they were holding out because they were actually sticking to their identity, sticking to like what their philosophy was. And you pick up BCJ, right? You pick up Trent, you pick up fucking like those
Trent?
like anybody,
big guy,
you know,
Dapper. I thought I was actually listen. I suppose this isn't. It's not 100% confirmed yet, right? I don't think EG have announced anything.
This is just leaks.
No,
this is just as far as the leaks stand. So yeah, as it goes now, I mean, because I thought there was at some point a leak that, or at least like Dapper was trialing with him or something, and I thought Dapper was nice this year. I felt like no matter where Sentinels were at as a collective, I think he's been super nice, and I was interested in seeing that move potentially happen. But yeah, I'm dropping. This does not excite me. I mean, Superman's a really good player, but goddamn if he isn't hot and cold. And also, is it worth getting rid of some of the players you already had with your like grassroots effort to make like very questionable upgrades? Like I think Reformed and Apoth were playing pretty solid. Like I'm not looking at this and thinking that these are big game, these are gonna change the team upgrades. You know, that's just okay. Like I think Apoth was really good. Superman was also looking really good.
Any
but
other
not
of the
that
teams
much better.
Any other pickups on the teams that we've talked about so far have been game changers, and this one is absolutely not.
It's like side grades to maybe like definite upgrades to certain things, but it's still just like what seriously changes the calculus of this roster when you compare it to 100 Thieves, you know, NRG and Sentinels.
Yeah, I'm more excited about the people they kept, for real. Like, I'm more interested in seeing more of Busio and Jojimo than the new players. Like,
to be fair, I don't think that would be that would be any different with almost anybody unless they actually got cryos that can like that type of level. Which
I think that wouldn't necessarily be the
none of
case if
them
they got
wants.
like Trent or something like that. Like, I think
I mean,
that's.
I think if they weren't going to completely rebuild, what I would have done, obviously, I pitched my plan for EG and on the previous episodes. But if I were to pitch a new plan, it would be keep Jojimo and Boostio. Let Boostio just be a crazy kill-hungry chamber. Get a more dedicated IGL. Get a more dedicated initiator like a Trent or a BCJ, something like that. Get another like good support player. Like actually really like invest in rebuilding around like the available NA talent and keeping this core. I don't know how I feel about Comstang. I don't know how I feel about these Ethan super pickups. I just don't have a lot of faith. And it brings me a lot of pain because I've been a pretty big EG supporter in the past and actually had a lot of belief in like their system and their philosophy, which is why I agree with Connor with like they're kind of compromising on that to take pickups that I don't know if are worth what they're sacrificing. So it's like I want to, but I just don't think it's a big enough upgrade compared to the other teams that we're going to have in the Americas League to make me think that this is going to be anything except a middle of the pack fine team. So it's a drop for me. Also, they didn't accept my roster changes, so out of spite, that's a heavy drop. Goodbye, EG.
Like, I guess final thought. Just looking at them, like they haven't got. I feel like this doesn't move the needle at all. They're not.
There's no
improving,
wow factor.
Nor getting worse. They are staying. This feels to me like they are staying exactly where they were at, while other teams are doing crazy shit and going up. They're just flat line. They're just going straight. You know what I mean? It's just not particularly exciting. That's drops. Who's up next, Kurt? It's
another team
Fury.
That's not doing much.
They've added in MW0, and Noswar is rumored to just be like 6-man, I believe, for the team.
I think so.
So not a whole lot. One move in. I mean, listen, y'all already know. I like some fucking MW0 gameplay personally. y'all already know that I enjoy that. I'm feeling a little bit on the fence here. I'm always so impressed with Furia at events, though. And that is why I kind of want to cop, but I'm very much on the fence because I don't think that bringing in MW, though he's a really good player, I don't think that is necessarily going to take them up astronomically up the rankings. But I also think that they've been kind of underrated and actually performing really well at these international events. They've just been in really tough groups, playing really close games where they lose. And so I think if you like, I feel like this team, especially since they're keeping a lot of the same core, like early on next year at the Brazil event, for instance, I could see them having a good run and beating a lot of the teams there and a lot of the newer teams. And just with the field being so large, I think there will be a lot of teams for them to beat. Versus like at Champions, they're playing in a stacked ass group and looking really good, I thought, but just playing against the god tier teams. So I'm kind of on the fence. I don't know. Where are you guys at?
I don't know. I just, again, like we're talking Americans League. I'm looking at like our NRGs. I'm looking at like our 100 Thieves. All these teams that have like built up such amazing things. And I don't know if I can see this team competing. I still think Tijazin is insane. I still think MW0 is insane. I feel like this is similar to like an EG level team where I think they're going to be solid. I think they have like the raw talent and like the kind of experience as a core to be able to push themselves to be a really solid team in the league and can probably get some upset wins over the really good teams. But I don't see them being like an international contender. I don't see them coming to Sao Paulo and taking names and going crazy. I think they'll be solid. And I think that's fine. It just makes me sad because Loud is getting ripped apart and Furia hasn't really, I don't think MIBR either has really picked up in the pieces in a way that we're going to have like a Brazilian super team. And all I can think about when I look at these teams is like, what could have been? like rip Loud. Look what they took from us. Look who they took from us.
Something
And
I
I
mean,
just
they
get
just took
sad.
Loud. They took Loud.
I know.
That's what
I
they
know.
took from us.
They did, but I don't know. I think they'll be fine. It's a drop.
I don't know. I mean, it's tough. It's very tough for this, for like, I think for a region like the Brazilian region, because essentially it's like, if you didn't get Loud, like, what do you have? Like, it's not like there aren't great teams. Like, Furia was in a really hard group, like, because they played like DRX and Fnatic, right?
Yes.
When they in group stages, and they took a map off Fnatic, and then they got, I think they got, did they get flattened by DRX? I can't remember. No, they did. Yeah,
No,
they did.
they almost beat them on Ascent, and then
Yeah, but then they went to
and
Haven and they
back.
got rolled. So I don't know. Like, I think there's like, with the addition of MW, I'm like, okay, like this team is actually interesting to me. It's just that once again, it's like, if you're not Loud, it's hard to really rate you. But also, like, if you're going to be comparing them to like all the other teams we're potentially going to be seeing, like, I don't know. I think I could probably rate this team above like the current iteration of, like, if the rumors are true, right? This rumored EG, I think I'd rate this team potentially over EG.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah,
I've made a decision. This crosses the cop threshold for me. I think they're going to be in like the upper middle section of the teams, if that makes sense. And I think that crosses the cop threshold.
I'm willing to give him a cop as well. I think it's enough to give me a cop, because they're like pretty good champs. They had a tough group, and then they added like an exceptionally good player. You know,
yeah, I mean, to me, I'm not even really thinking about ranking, but to me, they added MW, who, if you watch his games this year, was fucking still phenomenal throughout all of any of the Brazil stuff. Never really slumped. And I don't know how that Vivo Key team didn't really do well with both him and Zera on it. But I look at them more like 100 Thieves in terms of their moves, right? Just changing one player. Now Zera potentially wants to go somewhere else or whatever it might be, and swapping in Muzer, who fits in the role almost perfectly. I think this is exactly similar to like Cryo for Will and sticking with a core that you know can be successful, right? I like this move. I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah. All right. Her wasn't expecting that. Next, we've got Loud, the new Loud.
Can I start?
Yes.
This is a fucking cop, bro. I fucking love this team.
Yeah, it's a cop. Yeah.
The three sticking with Loud. The team is not breaking up entirely. Then Cloud9, who is fucking godlike as a 17-year-old at Reykjavik, and then Tease is insane. Well, it played for I forgot what team now. TBK, I think. TBK.
Yeah, TBK.
Fucking nasty and very. I mean, I think everything fits. And I think Sadak is going to do exactly what he did with Les, Pancada, and Aspas to Cloud9 and Tease now, and it's going to be insane. The only thing that could make this better is if Bazooka was back, was still here. Nope.
Oh, really? Do you think this roster is going to be better than the original Loud roster?
No, come on, man. Like, what do you like? Come on, man.
I'm just asking. I'm just posing questions.
No. That's like an unwinnable question, bro. You know those lose like those gotcha questions they ask politicians, bro. That's what you just did to me.
How is that an unwinnable question?
I'm done with this interview.
Dude, I'm with Ball. I'm copping. I mean, you still have a strong core of Loud. They're plugging in some young talent, like young upcoming talent. I still believe they don't have. They've certainly lost some of that experience, but still ultra strong core. They just have to put the time into integrating these new young players and building them up, getting them the experience. I mean, you saw what happened. Like, you give Les a couple events, and he was a beast at Champions. You just got to try and get the same treatment for the new guys. Get them the experience, get them the confidence at the events. And I think this roster a little time, but they still have this fucking sick core that will be able to perform, even if the newer young players need a little bit of time to step up to the plate. So yeah, still cop. Still definitely in the the top, the upper section of the team. So that's still a cop for me.
The score is just so good. The core is just so good. And I don't know a ton about the other players that are being added to the roster, but from the little I do know, I think they are very solid. And I think that this team has a lot of potential. And I agree with like the ability for the older players on this roster to be able to groom young talent to make them really competitive. I think that can be done again. I think it is a downgrade from previous Loud, but it's a trap question. So I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. I'm copping. I think I'd be a fool to not invest and have faith in them to develop the talent and be good again.
This
and
is
be
an
great
easy.
again.
This is an easy, honest investment. If you want you can be
Like, people might be
confident
doubting,
in your
but it's a good
long-term gains with a simple investment right now.
Could never lose on this investment. Could never lose. Oh, guaranteed money. Throw in your parents' money. Liquidate your 401k. Yeah, I think this. I'll cop. Not only will I cop, I'll empty out my 401k and I'll reverse mortgage my parents' house, and that'll be good.
Reasonable.
All right, that's the endorsement I like to see. Who do we got up next, Nordis?
Before I go to the next,
Yeah.
we have 3 more teams, and you guys have copped how many of the 7 we've
I'm
done so far?
rich, Kurt. What do
Everybody-
you fucking want from me, bro?
okay.
Listen, I'm saving my drops for Europe. All
Yeah.
of them. Oh, no clout. Drop. Dude.
All right.
Well, who we got next? MIBR, which is core from Keyed with Heat, RGL and Mariz. And they bring in FRZ and AZZ.
There's so many just letter names. That's crazy. Brazilian players go crazy for letter names.
A lot of Z's in all of the names.
If JZZ had a vowel in his name, which one would it be? Would it be A?
Jazz.
It would be
Like jazz?
Yeah, it would be jazz.
Yeah, me too. That's why
It's A.
No.
Let's go.
All right, cop or drop? Who's copping? Who's dropping?
Drop.
Who's copping? Who's dropping?
Yeah, dropping.
I'll drop.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop, and
I'll drop
my
it.
reason is this: I really like that Keyed. I liked the Keyed core, and I liked the Keyed roster, and I swear to fucking God, they should have done better than they were doing. I wanted more out of that team. So just seeing the core from that team, I there's so much raw skill that I don't think they tapped into with that Keyed roster, and I'm worried we're just going to see the same kind of story with raw skill, and we're not really moving past that. That is my concern. I will not be copping.
I don't know enough of these names. Insufficient clout. It might be my own lack of knowledge, me not opening my eyes and watching Brazil enough. But I don't know enough of these players well enough to make an investment. I'm a safe investor. I'm like JP Morgan. I don't put my money in bad things. Was that a guy?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
Morgan
I'm
is a
him.
person.
And I'm not investing in this team.
Okay. That's secret. Now we can't. We spent a lot of money. Now we're playing a little.
I'm about to become John Drop himself.
All right.
Just watch.
We got
How do you guys feel about
Crew up next.
Crew?
Any Croupium? We got Melser, Nags, Klaus, Shandi, and Davies on this team. So quite a mix-up from.
Drop. Where's Kesnet? Where's Kesnet? Drop.
Yeah.
Ball is sparing no time, putting the wallet away. Will not be spending a dime on an Amazon Prime Croupium
love
delivery.
this team though. I do love the idea of crew as well. I love the idea of crew.
Like
I like the idea
idea.
of crew.
I love the idea of crew. However,
Yeah.
this is not my crew, and there's no. So I'm beginning to drop. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. We are not Vamosing at this time. We are not Vamosing. We are leaving. In fact,
We're missing in the other direction.
I forgot the word. I forgot the word for to leave. But
Salir.
There we go.
Oh, God. Yeah. Mimi, what are you thinking? You deep in thought.
Crew with its old
Pondering.
roster couldn't even compete at international events that well most of the time, except that one time at Champions. Like, they were always fine. And now everyone just looks better. And I think this team looks worse. Yeah. What is the opposite of Vamos? SOMAV. Sama.
Well, no, there's
Sama.
literally a Spanish word. Salir is to leave, so it'd be like, I don't know what it'd be. It'd be like, is to leave?
Salga.
Salga. There we go.
Hey,
God, we are
Vamos,
some uncultured Americans.
But it'd also just be vamos because you're just leaving.
Oh, we're leaving the
Yeah,
reverse. Yeah, I
okay.
guess that.
Yeah,
but I mean,
guys,
I
we
want
don't
to
speak Spanish.
indicate the reverse. So
I'm going to keep this hella simple. Will this team be in the bottom half of the franchise teams? The answer, yes. Thus, I drop. It's that simple. It is just that simple for me.
I'm going to put out there, if it's a bottom half, I'm not guaranteeing dropping a team if it's not going to look that good. But if the idea interests me, I will still cop it. So
a very speculative investor. I can appreciate.
I'm an
that.
angel investor in the fact that most of my ideas die and become angels. So and then that's what happens.
Oh God. All right. Next and finally, we have Leviathan. They have Takalea, King, Mazzino now, Shy, and they're rumored to have Noswer. I thought I don't know what I saw. I didn't realize they were rumored to have Noswer. But okay, so that is the new Leviathan roster. A couple changes, bringing in Mazzino over from Peru, and Noswer joining up from Furia, potentially, allegedly.
Can I do my drop? No smoke player. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that's a reasonable position to stand on. What do you think about that, Mimi? No
I said I was
smokes.
JP Morgan. I'm PJ Morgan. I don't know if that's a person, but I'm the opposite of that guy. I don't make safe investments. And I look at this team. Can we see the roster again?
PJ Morgan.
I look at this team, and me, PJ, right here, sees some fucking talent. Taco, King, Shy, core of Leviathan, very good. I see Mazzino. Honestly, hyper underrated. He was so good on crew most of the time.
Yeah, he is.
And Noswer, also so cool. I don't give a fuck if they don't have a smokes player. Don't play smokes for all I care. You don't need that.
That's not a good team building methodology.
Yeah, it is.
You need
Mimi,
you
first
need
strike
someone
roster building.
Yeah, you need someone to play all the roles.
There he is, PJ.
You need someone to play all the roles.
No.
I think if this team had a smoke player, I would actually potentially cop this because of the idea. But unfortunately,
what is the idea?
The idea. So here's the idea: Mazzino, but and also Taco. I put Taco Lila as like I actually rated. I remember when we were doing like our players list a while ago, and I put him in like my list. I was like, oh yeah, like this guy kind of pounds out of control. I think he's very, very good. So it actually is more interesting to me than the new crew roster, this new Leviathan roster. But they don't. Their roles don't make a sense. So I'm dropping.
Okay,
the idea is not strong.
I was
enough.
about to say, okay, so the idea is not strong, dude. I mean, listen, if anyone watching this broadcast is coming out with like some sort of a new app or maybe like a Chrome plugin, they want investment. Connor's your fucking guy. This guy's ready to spend big. Connor, I have this idea. It's going to be an app for esports. And news.
And what perhaps we call it? What are we call it?
What are we going to call it? We'll work on that later. I'm gonna drop. I'm not feeling it that much. I'm going to drop. Actually, hold on.
Go on.
Pause, champ.
I'm waiting to see.
Come on.
I'm dropping.
You want this roster.
I'm dropping.
I'm
dropping.
I'm holding the phone.
It's on the. This one is on the edge. This one is on the edge.
This is a risk you got to take.
I'm dropping.
Honestly, this is a speculative investment. You know, so when I build a portfolio as an investor, you want to first start with
what have you invested
low risk investments. That's what you start with. You build a consistent core of investments that will guarantee build money over time. You put most of your money into that. You put that into your, your really solid investments, your optic cores, your 100 Thieves, things like that. Your louds that are going to be pretty safe and you're going to be able to build into. Then you put a little bit of money into risk. Money that you're okay with losing. It's like going into a casino. You're like, all right, I'm fine with losing this money. I don't need it at the end of the day.
Right.
But I'm going to put it on Leviathan because the chance for reward is fucking. They could go fucking crazy, or they could be shit. But either way, I'm already okay with losing the money, so I'm copping.
You know what? That's sound financial advice.
This is from someone who lost $600 on SoFi. Okay, next.
That sounded. I mean, honestly, that's the type of track record we need here for investing. That's the type of track record we need overall.
That's all the teams, and it says on the topic list break time, and I appreciate that because if I don't take a break soon, my bladder is gonna feel real silly. So
I'm gonna add on to something this real quick before everyone leaves.
Yeah.
I forgot I have a meeting from 3 to 3:30. So
Cool.
I'm have to leave right now.
You have to leave?
I have to leave right now. Yeah, I have a meeting from 3 to 3:30.
No,
What?
Why don't
Connor.
we do the meeting on the podcast?
Dude, let's get a,
yeah.
let's get
Well,
a guess.
I have to do a job. It's a job. Me and the other brand manager is meeting with a new hire to describe our roles with them. So do you want me to do an intro meeting on stream here?
Sure.
I think that's good.
Okay, I'm gonna ask him to come to the stream room, and then I'll ask my HR representative if I can do that.
So we're gonna have a bunch of special guests when we get back from the break here. Everybody to go potty.
Do you want
Get your stuff sorted?
But bye, podcast. I forgot I had a meeting.
Bye, Vass.
Bye.
All right. Yeah, we can try to get someone to come on real quick. I had to ask Wyatt to repeat that 50 times because I refused to take off my headset until after the 50th time. So we might be able to get someone. Might take an extended break. Sorry for all the chaos, everybody in chat. Thanks for the patience. Was troubleshooting the freezing of the camera earlier, and it turned out it was Valorant. Valorant's new update caused the camera to freeze. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot that so it doesn't happen again in the future, but it was pretty funny. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend going back to that part of the episode and watching it. It's very funny. I can pull up some music for the time being. We're probably going to extend this break. Maybe like 3 more minutes. I'm sure we can find someone in a little bit. Let me find some royalty-free music. Dystopian cyberpunk synthwave mix. Oh my god. This is amazing. I feel like I'm playing cyberpunk again. Where is
I'm
chat?
back.
Welcome back. We're trying to find a new guest. Wyatt is contacting his agent to see if he can find someone.
Okay, I'll contact my agents too.
All right, we're contacting our agents. Get BCJ, he's here. BCJ, if you want to be on the thing, man, I would give you my Discord, but then everyone here would add me. I got some messages from people. Wait. Bren is coming. Oh, we would get BCJ, but Bren is running on over.
Perfect.
He's hopping in for 30 minutes for Connor. I don't know if that means hopping. Is he coming here in 30 minutes? I guess I'm going to set up his microphone. So I'm going to extend this break a little bit. 3 more minutes and then set up Bren's microphone. And I guess he'll be here eventually. Sweet.
Can I queue ranks now?
Okay. Hi, chat.
Oh wait, I'm not chat. Sorry. Kurt.
Kurt's not at PC.
Brian thought he was coming on remote. Is that easier?
Kurt can't hear you. Hold on.
Fuck.
You guys want to know what's crazy?
I'll let him know in a second. What is crazy, Mimi? The
Credit cards.
socioeconomic state of the world? I would say that's crazy.
No, credit cards and like the credit system in America. It's crazy because it's just like our entire system of like the only way to like get out of like constantly paying money to someone and actually being able to build like someday owning your own property and owning like having something to yourself that like yours and like you own is like have to spend money through a company. It's so crazy how much power companies have in America. Like the credit system is like crazy fake because it's like 3 different like guys in a trench coat that just like figure out how much your credit is, and then that's how you do it. But it's like if you're a renter, you don't get credit for paying rent. Like you only get it for like loans and buying shit on credit cards. It also like encourages people to be more like car centric by like buying cars because that's a great way to build like your credit because of credit card like loans for cars. Like it's crazy.
No, you spitting facts right now.
Kind of a troll
Y'all thought
system.
y'all thought you were getting the Valorant news. You're getting fucking straight facts to your brain right now.
Yes.
I know, it's fucked, man.
All right.
We're gonna start another
Bren doesn't want to run across the street. He's going to connect through the power of the internet. So he should be here in a few minutes. I'm going to get that set up. It'll take a few seconds here.
Oh, sorry guys, just looking at like funny memes on my phone. Dude,
I'm watching
it's
some
Walter
funny things.
Wednesday.
Walter
It's
Wednesday.
Walter
I've been watching
Wednesday.
Breaking Bad, and I'm still waiting for the point where he says Walter. I'm not
You
gonna
haven't
have
gotten
sex
to
with
that
you,
part yet?
Walter." I haven't gotten to that.
Hey.
Like,
That's
when does that
unlucky.
happen? Do you guys know? Like, what season?
3.
It's season 7, actually.
Oh fuck! I'm on season 4 right now. It'll take a bit
What?
before I get there.
He definitely said Walter. in
Walter.
season 3.
There he is.
No.
He says
Bren!
Walter, sure, but he doesn't say Walter. Let me. That's like,
The rest of
Walter.
it he doesn't say.
yeah, no, that's season 7. He says it eventually.
Okay, I'll keep watching for that.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Bren. Thanks for joining us. Yay!
Hey,
Bren's
Bren!
here.
Dean!
I'm glad you could join us, Bren. Connor, because he's an unprofessional fuck, had scheduled a meeting during the episode. Can't stand that guy. All business, all the time. I can't take it anymore. He scheduled a meeting during the episode, and he had to go. And so, but thank you for hopping in and joining us. That puts a big smile on my face.
Why is my feed freezing all the time? Dude, I'm
Welcome
fucking...
to our life,
It's,
Brand.
it's fine. I'm not broadcasting the stuff that I'm doing right now, but now we are.
Oh,
Look,
okay.
Bren has a nameplate now. Yay!
Nice.
Yay!
Let's go. So,
Hello.
Bren, we just went through all of the VCT
was
rumored and
watching.
confirmed NA franchising team, America's
was-
teams.
I was watching. I
Great.
was
So you
watching.
know.
What were you doing? But were you in bed?
No. I slept for 14 hours. I got up about 30 minutes
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
So I just been eating my breakfast at 2 p.m. watching Plat Chat VALORANT.
Dude, it's ACL
That's actually
beat
the
you down.
experience of the average Plat Chat viewer. That's what most of you at home are doing right now. So
That's
no, we're
so
very relatable.
My orange juice, little orange juice.
Get your
people actually
vitamin
drink
C.
orange juice.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I thought that's only something you did in like hotels or like people in movies drink orange.
Wait, what?
I've never actually met someone who has orange juice in their house.
What?
I guess I've met you. So I've met one person with orange juice.
I have orange
Hold
juice
on,
right
hold on,
now.
hold on.
You're acting
You've
like
never-
it's
I'm
a
the first
niche
person
part
you've
of
ever met.
society.
I'm the first person
Yeah.
you've ever met has had
It's
orange
such
juice
it's
in
so
the house.
strange. It's like just a thing of sugar juice in the like it's very I
Well,
don't
no,
know.
it's not apple juice. It's orange juice.
I mean, there's a lot of sugar in orange juice. There is a lot of sugar in orange juice, but it's
But
like,
it's
you know,
like
it's a bit...
I thought that was like something that like speaking of Breaking Bad again, that like they had the fucking Breaking Bad breakfast where like some fucker in a movie
Yep.
has time to fill a jug with orange juice and make pancakes and bacon in the morning while being a fucking full-time teacher and a meth dealer. Like I didn't think real people did orange
Yep.
juice and like real
What a great
breakfast.
dad.
I thought
No,
people just had like
very
a
real.
bagel or a smoothie or something. That's crazy.
Doesn't a
Nah.
smoothie take a lot of work?
No, you just throw the shit in the blender and you start it and you
That's a
slurp
lot
that
of
shit
work.
down. That's why I do it.
That's a lot
Slurping.
of work.
Nice.
What are we doing?
You guys want to talk about Valorant?
No.
You guys want to talk
I want to
about
let the viewers know that we are doing buy or sell for EMEA, but first,
Breaking news?
Wyatt, what are we doing now? You're the host. I'm trying to throw it to you. I guess you can't see me. I'm like
what I'm
pointing
about
to you
to
at
do.
the program feed, but you can't see
That's what
me.
I'm about to do.
What are we doing?
Fnatic. They've announced Leo officially.
Yay!
Officially,
Yay.
he's on the team, and they've been
Wait, he
playing with
actually
him in the Super Bowl or whatever the fuck that tournament with 40 viewers is. Whatever's going on there. Wow, it's the Super Bowl, and yeah, what is this
There he is.
image?
Boaster posted this because they were visiting the pyramids while they're in Egypt for the Superdome tournament. And Leo
Oh.
is in the picture. And then Fnatic's like, fuck, we have to announce him.
Dude,
So they
wait, that was
announced him.
Boaster?
Yeah. Look
He'd
at
be
the
looking-
ass.
He'd be looking caked up. Yo, what
Yeah, but he's,
Boaster
he's
squad
doing
these
the
days?
posture thing. He's doing like the scoliosis posture thing, you know.
Yeah, he's
the
he's
first
He knows
thing
how
they
to
use
play
is
the
the
system.
TikTok.
Look
That's what I'm
thicker.
telling you.
But they officially announced Leo. Now, I gotta say, I feel like I should be more excited about this than I am. But I'm just not.
I'm very excited for this. Can
You're
I
very
fucking jump
excited.
in? Yeah, I think Leo is one of the hotly contested free agents of EMEA of the off
For
season
sure.
period. Leo, I think, is potentially the best initiator player in the world, and he's joining a team that's already pretty good. It's up there. I definitely think that Leo's an upgrade over whatever role Enze or Mystic, whatever he ends up playing. The guy's a freak of nature. I mean, the numbers that he puts up, the way he plays initiator, he's super intelligent. I think players of his kind of caliber, I don't know, they're a dime a dozen. You don't really get them often. So big pickup, big win.
Yep.
See,
He's really exceptionally good. And I think if the other rumored changes with this team, with Chronicle and stuff is true, I think they're going to be insane. Or they're going to be Fnatic again and look like the best team in the world and then disappoint me when they get to an international event. But I'm not sure about that one just yet. However, I think this is a good move for them. I think Leo has continually proved that he is just like one of the absolute best just initiator players. His run in Copenhagen with Guild was awesome. He was an incredibly impressive player, even though they didn't make the deepest of runs there. And yeah, I think with the system Fnatic has in place, he's going to have opportunities to be even better. Good move, Smile.
I think the reason you're not excited is that this was leaked like at the very beginning of the offseason. And so you've known about it for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, even potentially, like a fucking long ass time.
listen, that could be a small part of it, but I'm going to tell you why. And I know this is a good move. And I know what I should be saying is basically what Bren said. He's one of the hottest. He's the hot and spicy free agent. Everybody wants him. He was underrated on Guild, and then he was amazing at LAN, and then and it's all true. But I just don't feel that excited, and it's not about Leo. It's about this goddamn team. Just they've broken me. They've broken my heart too many times, and for some reason, I just feel like I no matter who they pick up, I just need to see some greatness at an international event. And then I'll feel happy and good inside.
But what you're telling me is literally no matter what they did, they could have gotten they could have gotten fucking the best players in the world, and it still would have been fucking veg until and I get that. I get
that's
that.
Kind of that's essentially that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
But still, even with that being the case, and I agree with you too, I'm exactly the same way. I still think that the way that Fnatic has played at an international tournament is a systemic thing and not necessarily a personnel thing or star power thing or anything like that. It's a systemic thing. So I need to see it change at international tournaments. But this is the best thing they could do outside of potentially changing up the roster entirely. You know? This is the best thing they could have done is go for this. This is the Josh said it on Twitter, and I agree with him. This is the only fucking super team anywhere.
Yeah,
of course, Josh would fucking say that on Twitter.
Of course,
Josh would say that on
But
Twitter.
It's true.
It's the only true.
It's the only real super team.
It should be true. If this ends up being, if it ends up 100% being a team with Leo and Chronicle, and then Boaster, Durka, Alfier, if that team isn't top 3 minimum,
Yep.
it's over. I don't even know
I agree.
what at that point. I mean, it's just so. This is it. They've got the fucking the god of all god rosters for EU that you could probably possibly get. If they can't fucking win with this, it's over. And it's a good, it's just what he said, good movemanship. But I struggle to feel excitement until I witness it in real time with my own eyes when they're in the server, Bren.
What do they need, Bren?
They might already have this. I don't fucking know. But they need like a performance coach. They need like a mental coach, I think. Because Fnatic have a choking problem at international events. When they get onto the big stage, when the pressure when the fucking heat gets turned up, they have a choking problem. Like they just keep always letting people down. They showcase the highest peak form
That guy
in online. David
the
Denis?
guy who is with 100 Thieves, the guy who makes all the
Edward
inspirational
Cullen,
tweets.
he's with NRG right now.
Yeah, he makes the really inspirational tweets.
Edward Cullen.
Maybe they
that's
should
his
pull
last
up
name.
his his tweets before every game. And
I don't
look
know.
at
They
them.
just
Edward
need-
Cullen. There you go. Mind Body Esports.
I think
Yeah.
they have an issue performing under pressure with this team, and that's probably where your issue comes from, Wyatt, of like looking at this this acquisition of Leo and not being too excited about it, because we've seen this team look like the best team heading into tournaments before, and they always just play below the expectations and the bar that they set for themselves. So I think they've got a choking problem at LAN, and what you were saying, Bala, about it being a systemic issue as well. Just I completely agree.
That is what I'm alluding to.
Exactly. Yeah.
But more specifically, I think I'm talking about the strategy and the macro that's called under pressure, specifically. But also everybody also chokes.
What is this?
Thanks, Carl. That really brightened my mood. That really got me feeling some type of way.
Did they just put a Wyatt River quote onto an inspirational fucking Tumblr post?
Yep.
Is that what I'm seeing?
Yep.
Go back.
You're damn
Rerun.
right they did. That's
Is this you talking about
precisely
Optic?
what I would say if I were a coach. I would be saying all types of bullshit. All types of inspirational bullshit I'd be finding on Tumblr. All right. Let's get into the buy sell for all the EMEA rosters.
Yes.
Buy or sell. What? Buy or sell. I can't read fast.
Bye.
Or slowly. I can't read. Buy or sell. VCT EMEA 2023 rosters. Let's get in these freaking teams. And we're just going to start with Fnatic. That's exactly what we're talking about. So it's these 5. The Chronicle rumors we're assuming are true. I'm going to...
Stream purchase.
Yeah,
All
I'm
my
copping
money.
the
Give it
shit
to
out
them.
of this.
I'm copping. This
I'm copying.
surely has to be a safe investment for my dollars. This is like investing in like Apple or some shit, right? This is just as safe. It's expensive.
Yeah,
it's expensive to invest. But you're
Like
safe.
a pension fund. Our pensions are safe, right? As we head into a global recession.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good, right?
Who here actually has a pension?
Not me. I don't invest my money. I keep it in my mattress.
God, yeah, that's
Cop.
good information to disclose on podcast. You're copping, Brent. Are you gonna cop?
Yeah, I'm confident. This team
I hope you got some good locks for your doors. Fucking listeners about to cut your mattress open while you're away. You're gonna come back from the Brazil event, and your mattress is just gonna be in the living room,
Fucking
just
flipped
split in
over.
two.
Dude, I'm gonna come take your pension under your mattress, and I'm gonna sell it Bren's pension on eBay.
No, not my pension.
No.
And I'm gonna start an esports team with the money. So you can got
Next.
Bren's pension.
Next. Who do we
Yeah,
got
we don't have
next?
much more to say on that
Team
team.
Lolquid, except it's not Team Lolquid, it's Team Liquid. And they have Nats, and they have Safe, and they have Redgar, and then they're holding on to Yampy and Soulcast and the Scream and Navera, and they're gone. They're gone. This is the new Team Liquid, allegedly. How are y'all feeling about this?
I don't want this team.
Bala
And this is crazy.
very happy.
Bala, you want this team? I don't want this team.
I want this team so bad.
And
I want them.
I'll tell you why I don't want the team though, real quick. Is because I like all the acquisitions that they brought in with Nats, with Redgar, with Safe. I think Safe was mad good actually when he last was performing on the international stage. So that you've got the makings of a great team here. But in Yampy and Soulcast, I'm so uncertain with these two players. given how long we've just seen them competing for. And I'm just like, where the fuck is the ceiling with these players? Because sometimes they have just periods of time where they perform at a fantastic level and they look like they belong on an absolute world-class team, and then other times they're just not putting up the same performance. And with Liquid, it's always been so difficult to tell whether that's just been an individual player problem or if it's the fucking structure in that team, because it's so dysfunctional over most of its existence. I got so fucking tilted watching Liquid.
Calm down. They have Redgar now.
Yeah,
They have
Okay.
not. They've safe.
Structure's fine now.
Well,
It's solved.
I need you to answer me. I have a
They have
question, and I need
Okay.
it answered, and you're the guy to do it.
Yes.
When I'm looking at this roster at a glance,
No.
and this could be a me problem. This could be a me problem, and that's fine if that's the case. But my question is, what the fuck are these guys playing? Because I don't see it. Who's playing what here?
We'll figure that out later. It's okay. Just give it a second. Let time take its toll or whatever.
Okay.
Uh,
This is gonna be fine.
Safe is
It's gonna
gonna
be
up.
fine.
Safe
He's
is
gonna
gonna
play
up.
Jet /up.
And
Yampy's gonna play controller. Soulcast and Redgar are gonna play the initiators, and Nats is gonna play Flexenti.
mm,
You see, the team feels unfinished, though. Wyatt's bringing up a good point. It feels unfinished.
How?
It's because of the rules, right?
It's just
Like, I
something
don't
that
know.
doesn't. This is just a useless commentary that I'm providing, but there's something just doesn't feel right.
Let me talk
There's
this through.
something about this that just doesn't feel right, and I'm dropping. And I couldn't even. I'm dropping. I'm dropping.
I don't want feelings on my podcast. I want facts. And here are the facts. These players are flexible. They can figure out the roles. The individual potential is fantastic. I think Redgar coming in adds an element of leadership that could help fix the like institutional problems that they've had in the past. I think Nats is insane. I think Safe is insane. I think Yampy is insane. I think this team will not be as good as Fnatic, but I think they will be good, and I think they will be able to figure out the roles. And I think I am copping. I don't think it's as safe an investment as Fnatic, but I think it's a very reasonable investment.
This is literally the definition of safe. Team Liquid safe, right there on the screen. No. Here. Let me solve your role issues. Okay. The reason why you feel uncomfortable about the roles is because Team Liquid last year, every player played every role. So you don't know what the fuck Soulcast plays. You don't know what the Yampy plays. So you're confused. I understand that feeling, but Redgar will solve everything.
Will he?
Yes.
Listen, I respect Redgar a lot, actually, as a player.
And Emil too. Emil's done with the bullshit.
I do respect Emil, actually, as well. I think that Liquid was showing some good signs of life in champs.
Remember, all that Silly said was it was the players who wanted to go for this crazy shit, and those players are gone.
Dream wanted the Phoenix
Yeah.
out of the team.
You guys have convinced me. I'm buying. I'll invest. I'm cutting open my mattress early.
I mean,
Good.
I
Let's fucking
appreciate.
liquidate my pension fund.
I appreciate the tone and the delivery you gave, Ball. It made me feel safe.
Yes, it
In
did.
the hands of
It did.
Redgar. But I'm still dropping.
No.
I'm
Honestly,
still
though,
dropping.
guys, investors, that's good for us. Less people buying in early. That means we get more shares at this price, and then we can, when this gets released to
No,
the
because
masses
Mimi, I
and
don't
it
want to
elevates.
sell. I
then-
actually believe in the product, Mimi.
No, you believe in money. That's what you're gonna get.
All right, let's move on.
Let's get on to the next team. Team
Holy
Vitality.
shit.
They got Mulsey. They have Sender. They have Bone Cold. And damn it, they've also got Twistin and Destrian. Y'all excited about this potential Team Vitality roster? Is this all I don't know. There's so many teams. Keep up
No,
with
yeah,
confirmations
not
and shit.
fully confirmed.
According to the spreadsheet, it's mostly confirmed.
Okay. Gotcha.
I
We'll roll with
like
that.
None of it is official, but yes.
Yeah.
I like Twistin. I like Bone Cold. And I'm
You don't like Melzy? You don't like
no,
Destrian?
I'm incredibly ignorant of EMEA, so I don't know how good this team should be. But listen, I see Bone Cold, I buy.
You're buying
Okay.
just Bone Cold is enough.
Yeah, I just fucking like him. He's a nice guy. I had an interview once with
Good
him.
lad.
He's a nice dude. But I'm a fan of Bone Cold's team. I hope they do well.
I'm too ignorant to invest. I don't know half these players.
Friends of
I know
Finland
Twisted and
invest.
Bone
You guys
and they're pretty good. So
are yikes.
it'll probably be pretty solid. But I haven't watched enough EMEA recently to know.
Molesy
so.
played on OG Oglu. You know that
Oglu,
team.
I know
Oglu?
that team.
Mostly
He
was
cracked.
good.
He was
Who's
cracked.
Mostly
Destrian?
was
That's
good.
the
That
only
shit
guy
also
I've never seen
played
before.
on London United, and then he also subbed for
Oh.
Liquid as their fifth. Remember, and they
Yeah.
just didn't have a fifth.
Oh
yeah. It's that guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm having a fucking ADHD moment. I don't record memories in my brain. So I can't remember this stuff until somebody triggers something, and then the fucking site you recreate connections that were there,
Yes.
lost
Right.
connections, ancient knowledge. We're fucking figuring out the lost arts from the Age of Legends. I'm making a cup of tea. Sorry, Albert.
I'm dropping.
Yeah, I'm dropping too.
I'm dropping. I don't think
Next year.
Shouldn't
Ren
have.
bought.
I mean,
Ren bought off feeling and emotion, no logic.
He's a good one-for-one
It's just a
replacement for
drop.
Connor.
No clout, plus not going to be in the top half of teams. Drop. At least have clout. Carmine Corp.
speaking of cloud,
Yeah, they have fans, is what I've heard, and they've got a lot of them. Is also what I've heard. And they also have XMS and Scream and Navera and Chin and New Zero. Y'all excited about this Scream Navera duo and bringing them over and building around it? Does this inspire you guys with confidence?
it would at a time where I didn't just fully lose it on Liquid and get tilted like Bren went on that rant like 10 minutes ago. So I feel like they're going to bring that over, and I'm terrified. I've always been a fan of XMS, but he hasn't really done much in Valorant. He played on like Alliance and other random teams that you would never have watched. So pretty scared about that. And then I am excited about Shin and Nuzera, but they also were playing in tier 2 for a while and didn't really, I mean, they were both playing on Carmine Core before this, and their team was the worst in the league. So
when you put it that way, you're really pushing it in one direction, aren't you? I mean,
yeah, so I'm
that's-
dropping.
That is some strong evidence you've provided for me to keep the wallet closed, which is what I'm going to do. I am not going to be spending.
The only
any
reason you
money.
cop is for clout, and so Mimi, go ahead.
That's
Yes,
pretty
Mimi.
fucked up that you'd say that. But also, j'aime la France, j'aime quand même quand ils vont-tu gagner l'Europe, le visiter, Cop. Give me this fucking team. Give me the French cloud. Give it to me. France, j'aime la France. Oui. I took 4 years of French in high school. Let's
Allez, les
fucking go.
bleus.
Je mangeais un pantalon orange. I am. Do you know what? I've looked at our numbers. You know, we're really dropping in the TikTok demographic. So I'm going to base all my analysis from this point on from what the TikTok generation of Valorant players think should happen with these teams and think who the best. Scream is the best player in the world. I'm copying.
Oui.
Très bien, très bien.
Tu es très intelligent,
Très bien,
friend.
très bien.
Oui,
I can't
oui.
get behind these
J'aime les
actions at
comments,
all,
j'aime les
Ball.
France.
Je
This is
m'appelle
disrespectful to logic and reason.
Oui, oui, oui.
Tu es très stupide.
I
Are
can't
we just
get
gonna
behind
switch
this
into
at all.
French?
I can't get behind this at
Le
all.
silence. Le
Je
silence.
jouais
ouais.
on Valorant.
What's the next team? Hopefully not. Take me to Spain. Who's next? Giants Gaming. They have Fatinho, Cloud,
Ooh.
Rhyme, Hoodie, and Nookie.
Is this Nookie's rumored or?
Yes, rumored.
Yes.
That's the rumor. I mean, Fatinho is pretty nasty with it. I mean, it's an interesting little roster they've got going on. Rhyme going back to EU after the little Gen.G era. I'm dropping.
Shit, I forgot about that.
anyone want a cop? I got a Giants gaming for you, going for $5. Anybody trying to cop?
Cop, yeah, cop, $5, 100%.
You're,
Cop for
wait,
$5.
you're copying or dropping?
For $5, I'm copping.
Small
Oh.
investment. Would you put a small investment in here on them, Bren?
Yeah, any team with Nuki has fucking legs, and I actually rate Hoodie as a player as well. No,
I
no
rate
cap.
the shit out of Cloud too. So this is not I'm not just copying because it's $5.
I
I think
also-
Patino,
Which
Cloud,
Cloud is
Nuki, and
this?
Hoodie is a fucking good team.
I also think Rhyme is giga underrated. Like, I thought he was really good when he was playing with Gen.G. I
And he's
did an
probably
interview with him
IGLing,
once.
right?
He has a
What is
really
this
good
Navi
mentality around the
Cloud?
game. Smart guy. Like,
Yeah.
I have faith. I think not going to put a big investment on this team. I'm not. It's not a safe investment by any means, but I'll put a little money in and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm
I think
done.
that's reasonable.
I rate Cloud as well. I'm in.
I don't really
Dude,
know
I'm running out of
Fatino,
money
but
in my
maybe he's
matchups.
going to be great. Maybe he's going to be God's gift to Valorant. We'll see.
Yeah, it's possible. All right.
$5.
Who do we got up next? Switch up the graphic. It's Foot Esports. They have Maj, Curaxis, QW2, Mr. Fallon, and Mooj.
They have Jimmy Fallon?
QW2, that really cracked player.
I don't know, but they don't have a VLR page, so something tells me that the sheet I was looking at has a typo, or they changed their name recently.
Oh, they
That
meant
was
OW2.
QW1.
Oh,
No, they didn't. They did not
Ah.
mean OW2.
Overwatch 2?
Yeah, it's QW1. That's
QW1. Yeah, that's
they're
the
just,
guy.
they're just upgrading it. Just
Just
a new
upgrading them?
release of QW.
QW was fucking nuts, no? From what I
Quake
remember.
Wars.
Wait, so this is just the same roster as before?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
it
They're
is.
Oh.
keeping the
roster?
same exact roster.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm dropping.
Well, what are you gonna do with them? You either get CNET or you don't. You either get off here or you don't.
Yeah, I mean,
GG's.
you're right. Yeah, I mean,
Or
that
you steal
doesn't-
from
same
BBL.
roster,
And
it
BBL's
doesn't
in there
excite me.
too. So
Bren, what was that? What are you pondering?
I'm trying to recreate fucking synapses in my brain from when I last watched Footballist Esports. I'm trying to build the connections again.
Well, here's the thing, Bren. Let me assist you. You probably didn't really watch them this year because they didn't really do that much this year.
They're in VRL.
They won the VRL then.
no,
one
no,
v
they
one?
weren't in VRL. They got relegated, and then
Oh,
right,
yeah,
and then
I
they
forgot
won the
about
VRL.
that.
They got relegated, dude.
I
That's
forgot
cringe.
they were in the main VCT circuit.
They
I thought they were a VRL
Did you say
team.
that's cringe?
Yeah,
Dude,
it's
getting
cringe.
relegated,
Getting relegated
is
is cringe.
so cringe.
They can't get
Uh,
relegated now. W. Unrelegatable.
Bro, I don't know where I stand with this team. I'm gonna go with drop.
That's fair.
Europe's
I mean,
getting better.
you can't excite me with it.
Wait, no, they weren't. I'm thinking of an entirely different team. I'm an idiot.
Oh,
It did win, right?
No,
I thought-
they didn't qualify. They weren't in this.
What?
I'm so confused. I'm lost. now.
I'm-
It was
I'm confused.
SMB that got fucking relegated. My
Oh.
Yeah, they
bad,
were
my
in
bad.
Either way.
Challenger and they made it up, right? Or not Challengers. They were in Ascension and made it to Challenge or whatever the fuck it was called, VRL. They won their
No.
regional
They
VRL.
They
and
won
they
VRL when VRL didn't matter anymore because we went
Yeah.
to the international leagues. That's
Yeah.
all that
Put
happened.
me down. I'm buying. I'm buying everyone.
why? What convinced you in that discussion? There was nothing of value. Nothing.
I'll buy two.
Honestly,
Why?
Football is Esports. They invited me to the
Why?
Foot House, so put me in.
Dude, you guys are how I just
We're losing our credibility so fast.
You
We spent
can't
so much time building.
We don't have any
you
credibility. What are
can't
you
excite me
talking
about a team.
Credibility.
Dude, there are teams with fucking tens and saucy on them. People are putting those teams together. You can't excite me about a team that won a VRL that didn't qualify you for anything
Okay,
and
spit your truth.
and have the
Spit your-
same team.
What? Spit your truth. I'm copping.
I'm uncopying. Wyatt's convinced me. Make my money off the pot.
I'm losing my damn mind. I'm losing my damn mind. Who do we have up next? Where's the
Bibble.
Where's the thing?
Bible Esports.
Pull up the next one, Curtis, please.
No, Big Boss Life Esports.
BBL Esports. They have Kushner. They have Aslan and Foreshadow, AIM DLL, Turco, and Brave. And this is essentially
Same roster.
the same roster. Yeah, right? It's the
I
same
think-
Turco
roster.
looks so cool.
I can't get excited about teams that are just not making fucking money moves. That's the problem. I want to see money moves, and I'm not seeing them here.
All right.
What,
I'm
Brent?
excited for this team.
Why?
Brazilian butt lift esports. I'm fucking excited, man. I'm fucking excited. I'm telling you. Kushner, Aslan.
Yes.
Fucking these guys pound, actually. They actually pound. I'm excited for this team, no lie. And then who else we got? There was another player. I've forgotten the name already. AMDLR, that guy. That dude, freak of nature. I'm telling you, you got three absolute freaks in this team.
Actually, though, they've kind of downgraded. They lost Pora. I'm pretty sure they're losing Pora, right? And yeah. And even somebody, Cider X, was on this team somehow. I thought he played for SMB, but either way, like, I think they're downgrading, actually. I think the Turkish scene is unlucky right now. They're just kind of cycling through the top players on the top teams. And you never know which, are they on BBL? Are they on Footballist? Are they on SMB? You don't know.
Yeah.
And CNET's never there.
There are good players here, for sure. But I just don't, again, I don't, not making big moves, just kind of keeping what's been, we're just at the status quo, and the status quo has not been enough for these teams, and we're still there. We're not moving in a direction of
I'm gonna keep
advancement. I must drop. I just must drop. They're good players, but I feel like we're not moving forward. I'm dropping.
I'm gonna keep it real quick though as well.
Drop.
What?
I'm copping, but here's the thing: if a team made upgrades, I wouldn't fucking know.
Bren, you realize these teams play against each other, right? Like,
there is so much. I'm telling you right now.
them.
If these teams were making upgrades, I wouldn't fucking know if they were upgrades or not. I wouldn't even know if they're downgrades because there's too much Valorant to watch. I don't have a fucking clue what is going on in the depths of the EMEA. I'm going to keep it real with you.
I did feel like as soon as we started this segment, I was like, dude, if this isn't proof that there's way too much fucking...
How am I supposed to know all these
so
players?
much Valorant.
There's so many.
Are we hearing the same? Wait. Whoa. I want to get something clear. What I'm hearing here is Bren saying, I don't know what's going on. I haven't watched these games. I'm going to cop. That is, you're justifying.
Yeah, because
you're justifying investing by not watching.
I've seen Kushner, I've seen Aslan, I've seen fucking AMDLO. I've seen these guys perform. I know they can put up the numbers. They've got fucking spunk. They've got gusto. These guys can fucking go for it. I'm telling you, these boys, they can fucking compete with the best.
Bren playing Copper Drop is the same as Bren playing poker. He's just here to donate money and leave.
Oh my god. Mimi, are you the last one here who is not?
I'm
no,
not
I am
copying. There's no reason. It's the same team.
I'm dropping.
Okay. Finally, a semblance of fucking sanity.
It's not the same team, but
it's close enough that I didn't notice it wasn't the same team. I don't know enough about Turkish.
Welcome.
Oh my god. All right. Who do we got next? Koi. They've got Coldamenta, Shadoffs, Starzo.
Can we sub in Connor?
What do you... I don't...
And you can't hear Connor right now?
Yeah, Connor's live, but...
Oh, should I switch? Do you want to get subbed out, Bren?
Yeah, I need a shower.
Enough? All right, bye, Bren.
Once the episode's done, I'm playing ranked.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
You're playing ranked after.
Bye, Bren. Have a nice shower.
All right, Avast is going to be here in 3, 2, 1. Where is he? He's not here. There he is.
Oh my... How's your meeting
going?
going?
Oh my god.
Also, someone came and put a webcam into this room while I was gone, and so it's not the same camera anymore, and it's at a different angle.
Wow, it's like shit.
It's not the same camera.
You just got downgraded while you were gone?
So, yeah, someone came and used this room for a meeting while I went and took my other meeting. So...
Why didn't you take your meeting in this room and let them take the meeting in the other
room? Well,
room?
here's the thing. They had scheduled it to be in person, and I didn't realize it was with a new hire that was remote. So I'm like, okay, well... So I just got trolled.
That makes sense. We're in the midst.
What have I missed?
We're in the midst of buy or sell VCT EMEA 2023 rosters.
Cop.
Why? Well, okay,
because
hold on.
It's a Koi.
Actually, I'm not going to say why. Hold on.
I mean, why?
Let's think about this. You guys already both copped?
Yeah.
Look at this roster.
Okay.
Look at this roster.
We're rich, bitch.
Wait. What about it?
Dude, I fucking Trex, Shados, Kodamenta, a solid IGL with them. Starso to
Yeah.
wind it up. And then Wolfen, I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of just going off the vibe with Wolfen. I'm going off the vibe with him. He kind of reminds me of Mr. Clean a bit. All the best rosters in the world have a bald man. It's just they need bald. They need a bald.
Yeah, you're right. You
look
need
at it,
one.
they got it.
You need one bald.
Kodamenta.
Yeah, they might have
anyway.
exceeded the bald
Yeah,
limit, but
I mean, Kodamenta, he's got enough hair to where he's not quite bald.
Well, next year Shados will be bald.
That's fair.
that's
If
what
they
you
have
really,
three
you
balls,
have to
that
really
might be-
think about that in the roster building process. How
That
much
must be
longer
too
is this
much.
player going to be holding on to his hairline?
That's almost too much bald if you have 3 bald.
Are you regretting your cop now?
That might be too much. No, I still like. I mean, the rest. Legitimately, this roster is like good. Like
This is a good
It's a good roster.
This
Like,
is
it makes
actually
sense.
one of the few fucking good rosters in EU. Like 100%. What? Why?
Yeah, I've been frugal with my EMEA money. I'll cop. And I'm gonna a lot of that. Dude, I feel safe with my money in the hands of Trex. I like Trex. Good lad. Never met him. Mimi, what are you thinking?
Simple cop. Good players.
Simple
good team.
cop.
Why am I so bright?
It's because you
I think
took
you're
my
fine.
camera quality and put all the light into your camera. You're like a black hole, taking all the fucking
Wait, I
light.
can
to your
disappear.
brightness.
Watch this. I'm still.
I mean,
We're here.
Wow, that's
you've got out of the frame of the
crazy.
camera.
You
So
went
yeah.
out
I'm still in the chair. Look.
What's the next team? What's the next goddamn
Next
team?
team, please.
Who do we got? Heretics. They've Mixwell, Kellox, and Avova, the old G2 core. And then they've got Zeke and Boo.
Well, it's 2 different G2 cores.
Yeah, it's technically
Well-
2 different because they have the Kellogg's and Mixwell. So
Yeah. They all played together, though, at some point, right, guys?
Well,
Correct
really,
me
it's
if
like
I'm wrong,
4
but
different G2
Didn't
cores, actually.
Mixwell and Kellogg's have like a back and forth?
Yes.
No, that was not
Was that Mixwell and Kellogg's?
They had a back and forth because they played the same role, so they were just constantly getting subbed because Mixwell
Oh.
didn't want to play Viper and Sentinels anymore.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure the actual like head to head was Nuki versus Kellogg's, and they talked about that on stream. But anyways,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Um,
Mixwell was like mentoring Kellogg's during Berlin.
Right, yeah. Kellogg's did have that really good LAN performance. That was definitely the highlight of his Valorant career so far. We haven't really seen him play for a while at a high level. But I'm not excited about this project as it currently stands. I will be dropping. You're dropping,
This is the
Connor?
anti-cop. This is the anti-cop. I am Nosferatu, and that roster is garlic right now.
Yeah, that's a
that
fair
even
way of putting it. Mimi, how are you feeling?
Nosferatu is a vampire. Vampires do not like garlic. You'll be the first to die when the vampires show up, Mimi. You don't have this knowledge. You don't have this knowledge.
Mimi, what do you feel about the roster? What do you?
What?
I'm waiting on Mimi. How do you feel about the roster?
Oh, I'm
Are you
supposed to
confident
say
about-
what I feel about the roster.
Yes.
I like the G2 core. I like Zeke.
Uh-huh.
Who doesn't have a profile picture? That's a little problematic. I like players with pictures.
He played on OGLU.
Yeah, I
again.
know. He was on Oglu. I don't really care a lot about Oglu, but
That's messed up.
That is fucked up, actually. Oglu is like legit.
Oglu was solid. Oglu was solid. I feel like I've been doing a lot of investing. I feel like I've been spending my money a lot. I feel like this team is a risk that I'm not willing to take.
I'm going to bring up a second issue with this team. If you go to look up Boo, there is approximately 40 Boos on VLR.
SEO is terrible.
Look at this shit.
Well,
There's
just
so
think about
many
him like
Boos.
a Mario Boo, and
Yeah,
then
it's
maybe it'll-
this one, but I was worried about putting the wrong person's image. I wasn't sure if it was this person or not, so I didn't use their picture. So it is
It's just
this person,
crazy
right?
that there's this
Yes,
many
yes.
Boos in Europe. Europe is scary.
Yeah, that's
Crazy
some,
that G2 beat Oglu and then signed Boo under a new org. It's
Oh,
Heretics.
Oglu
That's
beat-
crazy.
Oh well, okay. I guess it kind of. Anyways,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
you're right. It's
I
also
lost my
crazy that
attention
all of the
span.
fucking Oglu players are getting signed, and there's a ton of. I fucking love the Oglu players, but it's crazy that that team is pretty much fully signed at this point.
Got our dogly.
I mean, they had a
Very
really
true.
respectable process, and like I think they had some decent results and ideas on that team. So it's a pretty decent individual skill. I'm not opposed to it, mostly because I think it's funny that the name Oglu is propagating throughout all of the VCT. So
Drop.
Yeah, that's what we're waiting on. We're just waiting on getting that fourth drop before we go to
All
the
right.
next.
Well,
Sorry.
at least the final team. You guys know who the final team is? You
Yeah.
should know who the final team is.
FPX,
Cop.
but not FPX. But it's FPX. I mean, easy cop. Long have I been waiting to spend my money on Na'Vi. I mean, this is just the easiest of all time cops. It's FPX. They have Charles Ned instead of Ardis. That's it.
That's awesome.
We take those. We invest in those. Easiest cop of my life.
Did they have Doom Bros as well? They do, right?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yep,
Yeah.
cop, biggest cop in my life.
a huge Pog champ. When you have the Bryn impersonator on your team, there's no way you don't cop that. There's no way you don't cop that immediately.
Cop that.
Yep, Brent's cousin.
Flow.
Where's Ball?
He was singing.
Oh.
He was just singing.
It's hard to hear.
Vibing.
It was hard to hear the audio, but that's an easy cop. I'm excited. Yeah, Na'Vi excited, Fnatic, scared but excited. But a lot of that, maybe it's just because EU teams just don't have enough fucking clout. But it's a lot of the teams, they're not.
I mean, like,
making me
out of all these
excited.
players we saw, how many had big streams? Like, probably less than 10. Like, it was not a huge number of big streamers in there. And I was a little disappointed by that, honestly. I think if I'm a European GM, I'm importing NA players to the cloud.
Yeah.
Like,
I
if I'm fucking Oglu and I made franchising, I would have flown out tents and brought
I
in
would
here.
have brought in a Japanese player.
Yeah.
Just got some of the Japanese cloud as well. I would have put a player that doesn't even play Valorant. I would have got like Tayo, the ex Overwatch player. Got a big stream.
Oh God!
All
All right.
Low-key, though, you guys are right. I think EU's free agency has been a big L. There's so many fucking free agents that are just missing out. Way more than NA. It's just that NA, you guys know more. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling you guys out now. By the way,
I'm in here.
news.
We have breaking news.
No way.
And we're going to talk about this for 1 second.
No
but we
way.
want to hit on it real quick because people are like, oh my God, it's happening. Epic.
Oh, sick.
Oh,
He's the
Oh,
sixth
sick.
man.
sick
The
is
sixth
the
man.
sixth man.
So no
Okay.
Zion.
That was interesting. Next topic.
Connor, I don't want that merch anymore.
Well, it'll be
Well-
now. This is actually going to be interesting. What are we going to spend more time on? That topic of Sick being the sixth man, or this one, Ascend and Fnatic playing in the Superdome tournament?
Sentinels.
I think,
Let's
I'm not-
discuss for the next 30 minutes how Sick being the sixth man changes this roster significantly. Let's discuss.
I don't have a thing to say about the Super Bowl in Egypt. With Ascend and Fnatic. I don't have
Why
a thing
not?
to say.
Why
I don't have
didn't
a
you-
thing. Other than Fnatic lost a BO1 to Geek Esports.
Yeah,
That's it.
Mhm.
That's all I know.
Ascend lost 2 today. I'm pretty sure.
It's BO1s, though. I don't care about BO1s. I literally
Yeah.
could care less about BO1s.
BO1s is simply, it's like, have you ever been to like random.org? It just uses atmospheric noise to generate random numbers. That's BO1s. That's BO1s.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's happening with us for that tournament, but you know, that's cool. They got
Run
to go to
random.org.
Egypt, take some, do some tourist.
It's just a
stuff, some
random number
pyramids.
generator that uses atmospheric noise. So it's the closest to truly random you
It's a
can get.
paid service?
No, it is not paid. You don't have to
Fuck,
pay for
random
them to do it.
drawings?
You
Numbers.
don't have to. Numbers.
Integer generator.
Yes.
Generate
Random.org.
100 integers. Okay, guys, which number should I pick? A number 1 through 10.
Ooh.
I'm going to go 8.
8.
The answer
2.
is 9.
Okay.
That
Well, it
helps.
wasn't really an answer because it's a random number generator, but sure, I'll take it.
We should expand
That's
on
the
this
answer it gave
content
me.
idea that's currently being cooked up. Guessing Mimi's random number.
We actually
Yo.
should. That's a sick idea. Hold on. Give me a second.
Ooh, wait.
what are you
sick?
cooking, Kurt?
A
yeah,
sick
sick.
idea?
You guys know
From
Sick,
Sentinels?
the player?
Yeah.
How do you
Sick from
use
Kent?
random.org?
I don't know.
There's so much stuff. Never mind. We're not doing this. We'll save it for next week.
The final segment, weekly award. Let's get it. It's Wyatt's weekly award.
This ball is crushed. Man, what a shot.
Easy
Every
one.
time I see that intro, your old hairstyle reminds
Why
me
does
of
the
like,
Manscaped logo keep popping up? I'm getting rid of
Whoa,
that.
whoa, whoa! Get that out of there.
We're not sponsored by them anymore.
That's free advertisement, not for you,
Yeah.
Manscaped.
Sorry, Manscaped.
Okay.
What were you saying?
I lost
Connor?
my train of thought.
Sorry.
Oh no, you look like the protagonist that the football team rallies behind after they like get in a severe car crash and like We Are the Titans or something, you know? That's what your hairstyle reminds me of.
They're just
This
white
week's-
quarterback in high school.
Yeah, but then they've solved all the socioeconomic problems because football, and so that's like so they've solved all their problems because of that.
The weekly award. This is an easy one. Everyone knows where it's going. The weekly award this week is going to Saucy for the marriage. Congrats, Saucy! Congratulations.
Congrats.
Nice.
That's
There
a
it
fucking
is.
beautiful looking wedding. Like
That is a
really
very-
is.
Colors-
These photos are gorgeous.
the
I
colors
saw this-
are insane.
He was like walking down the stairs or whatever, and like it like legitimately like his like wedding seemed crazy.
Wait,
Ooh,
the
like, that
podcast
pic
is
goes
followed by
hard.
Sen Saucy. That's awesome.
Wait, that's kind of cool.
That pic also
That's
goes
awesome.
hard.
Look at this.
That's
God
so cool.
damn.
They have balls? What are those?
Balls girl says balls.
I'm assuming they're like balloons or something, or like were those like the father and mother of the bride, perhaps? I'm not sure.
Dude,
But
they're
either way.
dancing like crazy. You have to learn how to dance.
To get married? Yes.
Yeah, is that a
you do.
requirement?
Yes,
That's
actually.
crazy.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's not my
There's something
requirement. You
there.
have to learn obscure trivia knowledge if you want to be part of the wedding.
Yeah, that's the weekly award. Congrats to Saucy. Looked like a gorgeous wedding. So that is it. That is it for Plat Chat episode 110. We will be back next week for episode 111, and I'm sure there will be more various.
Hopefully we
news and
actually have
things.
rosters. Wouldn't that
Yeah.
be crazy?
There probably
supposed to
will
be.
be actual rosters next week.
I can't wait to see the sixth man on every roster, the most important position.
That's going to be
I'm very excited
really
to talk about
awesome.
the sixth men. I love
Yeah.
men, particularly when there's a sixth one of them.
Yeah, when there's 6 of them.
Yep. The
Leave a
preferable
comment
number.
on the video down below when you're done watching. Let us know which rosters you're dropping. Who are you dropping? And you could let us know who you're copping to. But that's easy. Everyone knows who everyone's like. Oh, I'm copping Cloud9. Yeah, all right. Let us know who you're dropping. Give us some spiciness in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you for episode 111. Bye.